I remember the first time. And I remember the first time. First time. First time. First time. First time. And I remember the first time. And I remember the first time.
And we only meet once in a while anyway.
It's gonna be lonely not being able to see you anymore. It's been great hanging out with you. Why she run from me? Now you wanna come back and now you love on me. But I'm confused why you think you deserve some trust from me. And your heart is painted blood. Girl, it's ugly. Fuck your company. Why she run from me? Now you wanna come back and now you love on me. But I'm confused why you think you deserve some trust from me. And your heart is painted blood. Girl, it's ugly. Fuck your company. And I remember the first time you had me in your hold. Now you corrupted the safe. I'll never know. Yeah, Vincent at his darkness. Watch all his friends turn to foes. Yeah, tried to troubleshoot me, but I cannot be screwed. Trying to sell me a dream, trying to sell me a home. While you tell me a lie, and you think I'm a joke. Swear I'm not a bad guy, but this path my only road. Never been hate in my heart, but you burned it in my soul. Cannot control myself, and I cannot begin to tell the lies and things you tell yourself. And why you put me in this hell. And I cannot control myself, and I cannot begin to tell the lies and things you tell yourself.
Ooh.
You put me in this hell. It's over. It's over.
Why are you in Pacific time?
I've never understood. Like my clock says 8:32, but the post that I posted like not too long ago says today at 4:29. I didn't post that not even an hour. I don't understand. What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Yes, I do live. I'm here.
Watch all his friends turn to foes. Yeah, try to troubleshoot me, but I cannot be screwed. Trying to sell me a dream, trying to sell me a home. While you tell me a lie, do you think I'm a joke? Swear I'm not a bad guy, but this past my only road. Never been hating my heart, but burned it in my soul. From me, now you wanna come back and now you love on me, but I'm confused why you think
I was running about.
from me and your heart is made in blood. Girl, it's ugly.
Sometimes I'm like, is it better to just scream? You know, to the screen, you have every player. Do I sound far about it?
No, you should stop posting.
You deep? This one's gone. Whoa.
Miles here? What the hell?
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay.
What do you usually hop in if I'm if he knows what I'm talking about? Vindication. Shout out to Dustin, the one who saw this was coming. Jesus Christ, forgot about that. All right, I mean, I'm good. I'm ready. I'm about ready to start. We got 6
Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big in Tokyo.
It's time.
What's poppin'?
Man, I'm not liking these numbers. Y'all need to start telling y'all friends. We need to double, triple the effort.
Quadruple.
50 people in here by game time.
I could do that if I have like Brago or someone in the chat or some in the call or something, or Jay, and they'll like retweet it, then they'll come. If it's just me, it has to be something super exciting, like the Dritz video. Then I could get like
Nah,
50.
y'all need to jump your efforts up. Bring your people.
You just started watching Monogatari. Are you watching it in the right order though? I hope they didn't lie to you and told you could watch Kizu later. You watch Kizu right after you watch Bakemonogatari, sir. All right? Don't let them lie to you. Okay.
Don't be led astray by these people.
Yeah. But how y'all boys doing?
Bill?
Cool.
Trying to survive, my boy, past this damn class.
I'm doing good. PUG slander always brings a smile to my face, you know.
Yay!
Thank you for the follow, Lost Child.
This is just interesting.
I mean, follow subscription. I'm here, bro. I'm here. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. But I'm good. What's up, Mikey? But all right, say hi to YouTube because this will be on YouTube at some point. And I do want to preface with this. I'm probably gonna gloat a lot. All right, you can hear a lot of gloating because for me this is vindication. Okay, it's been long term. Lazo was saying a long term payoff. I feel vindicated. I'm not actually happy that like people are upset with Tower God and Tower God isn't living up to what I believe its potential is. I'm not happy about that. But
Yay!
I've been getting yelled at
Read-장.
for years, telling me you don't read the series, drop the series, blah blah blah. And I'm like, look how slowly but surely how many people have come around, especially the native speakers of this webtoon, which is very. I know Noblesse and Tower God were two that I know were really big over there at some point. So yeah, the Koreans seem to be very unmoved by this. So we're gonna go through the Reddit that talks about it a little bit, and then we're gonna go on not what's it called? Namuverse, I think. Namu Wiki? Shit, I forgot what it's called. Let me look at it. Yeah, Namu.
Namu Wiki.
Yeah, Namu Wiki. We're gonna look at that, and then we have to use. Unfortunately, we have to use Google Translate. I only speak French. I almost speak French and Korean. I only speak English and French. I don't speak Korean, so I can't read it, but. We're gonna go off the assumption that the translations are like pretty decent and that the information represented in this Reddit is mostly accurate. I'm sure some of them are just talking out their rear end and don't know anything, but let's hop right in. It should be interesting. So, actually, I'm just gonna hold it. An evaluation of Tower God according to NamuWiki. NamuWiki is the biggest Wikipedia style site in Korea, so it's generally a good source of general sentiment on products. And for TOG, the sentiment is as follows. General sentiment for the series has steadily gotten worse since the Hell Train began. That's interesting to me. Why do you guys think that is? Do you think because it went on for so long?
Maybe. I could definitely see that. It's just a really long arc.
Mm-hmm. Because
yeah, probably one.
I know that the one arc during that whole like because I kind of think of the floor of death, the Hell Train as a saga. More so as I think of a specific arc, like the name hunt station is an arc within the Hell Train saga to me. If that makes sense? That's kind of how I see it.
Right.
But
yeah,
I do remember people
That's
having
probably.
yeah. I remember people really not liking the Floor of Death weekly. I remember that. That was a thing. It was pretty contentious.
Mm-hmm.
People were digging a wreck being there. They thought he undermined attention because he was like literally number 4 in the tower and things of that nature. Some people thought the fact he just brought that syringe to separate Hell Joe from the Red Theresa was like a bit much for them. So that's interesting, but I didn't have any smoke with Tower God up until this point. Not saying it was perfect or flawless, but up until this point I was fine. Were you guys fine or not?
Nothing major. Yeah, I mean I was with you every week, so yeah, it was nothing major. Until we got to the last station, that's when we kind of looked at it and was like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? But yeah, before then, yeah, there's probably some ups and downs, but not really anything that we really like majorly complained about ever.
Yeah. And
I mean, before the last station.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying before the last station, probably like easily my favorite web. It was like one of my favorite series ever. It was just like 3 elite and things, but yeah.
Okay. So where was I? There was a momentary reversal in opinion of this degradation and popularity boom due to the last stop arc. So that's interesting. So they liked the last station. That's where I started having issues with the series. So I guess we're a little reversed there. Season 3, however, has seen the largest amount of criticism and befuddlement from readers. Befuddlement is a great word for this. Reasons being the setting, the out-of-control power inflation, baffling battle composition that makes Noblesse not seem ridiculous. Very interesting comparison there because I don't think Noblesse fights were ever hard to follow. Noblesse was just very formulaic. I have different issues. But anyways, not a Noblesse stream. Belittling character motivations, actions, especially from Bam, and the overall work has lost the characteristics that made it stand out. And I think that last part there is very significant. Would you guys agree?
I mean, we've kind of said that this is not the same webtoon than when we started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Which is, I mean, it is what it is now. Like I said, I'm not really cared to boom on this series much of it because I've just accepted that it's changed. It's not the same anymore, and that makes it a lot easier to enjoy in some ways. But I'm just here with this because this is interesting.
Yeah. There is even an entire page dedicated purely to criticizing Bam to the point that by the second half of the Best War, it's not uncommon to see comments on Naver that the family heads, Jihad and Rachel, are 100% in the right. So
I'm crying.
I find all of those
Hey,
interesting.
man.
So we'll go through some of the comments here. I want to go to the bottom where it kind of starts. But you guys, anything what you want to say before we get started with the comments?
No, I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I just kind of want to go through it.
Okay. Raziel pulls up.
Yeah.
Arc is over. Absolutely. Befuddle is a great word. Yep. I didn't fancy the last station beyond meeting the data versions of the. No. You're thinking of. I think the last station is the last arc in season 2, where Bam and them pull up to. Wait. Damn, I don't know what floor it is, but that's where
That's
you
when
met
the
Caliban and stuff,
Jabba's army and Caliban,
yeah, and Hodgins. The 3 orders. That's what the 3 orders. I think you think of the hidden floor. The hidden floor.
43, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, he corrects himself. CBL forever. Jihad is right. Yes, sir. Anti-Shield, and we'll see. It's all right. So wait, is this the OP? No, OP is what Swooz is. Sorry, let me just make sure. That means the person who made this thread, right? Yeah, Swooz is. Okay, 9 days ago. I don't know. I don't read it enough. I won't lie to you. I come to Reddit for degeneracy. Anyways, even then, it's not even accurate in my opinion. Wait. Does it start here? I'd say Caliban is. What the fuck am I? I don't even know where to start. Where's the comment? What are they replying
The
to?
comment's the beginning. It's the first one.
So this
Well,
is
it's
so
like
this is the first comment here. I'm highlighting.
no, it's the where it says just. I mean, where do you want to start from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
It's should Bam is compared to Suzaku from Code Geass, like the one above that one.
Oh, where's that?
The one above that one.
I don't see it. Am I
The one you
blind?
highlight.
Oh, this one.
Go. No, the one above that one, right there. You just passed it.
Oh, should add that the character Bam is most compared to. Sorry, guys. It's Suzaku from Code Geass. Like, okay, these are the replies. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm slow, bro. I'd say Caliban is much closer to Suzaku. Wait, Suzaku is Lelouch's best friend. Okay, or whatever. The guy who's like, okay, live. Okay. Suzaku's ideology. He's firmly loyal to the Jihad Empire and believes that in absolute authority, but wants to improve it as much as he can from within. Bam doesn't really have an ideology other than being generally benevolent and prioritizing his loved ones above all else. I don't see the comparison. Do you guys? With Suzaku and Bam?
Watch Code Geass.
Or even
I've
Caliban.
seen
Even
it.
Caliban. I don't see
I've
it.
seen it, but that's not a comparison I would make. But the Caliban one is a little bit better, but still not.
Yeah, it's more apt, but no. Still no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I don't
interesting.
like that.
That's interesting.
like
So
that
they
at all.
so I guess they see or perceive Suzaku as not a good character, possibly, or like a not interesting one.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Suzaku. I'm guessing from what I know about Suzaku is kind of him being naive and him kind of like flip flopping around.
Okay.
It's like Suzaku is kind of a character that tried to change things from the inside, and then he jumps to working with Lelouch, and he just does a bunch of things, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna let anybody die. I'm not gonna let this happen and that happen. So I guess they're approaching it from that standpoint. I still don't like it, but I guess that's how they're kind of approaching. They're like Suzaku's kind of like naive to the point where it's like really annoying, and also he's just like really strong, and it feels like for like no reason. So I'm guessing those are the two things.
Well, I guess they clarify here. They're not referring to their philosophy, but as a comparison of position in the narrative. But I still don't agree with that.
Okay, so there you go.
I still don't agree. Yeah, because these stories are they're like. This is one of those.
Different.
It's such a surface level comparison where I could understand it on a like a first layer, but the deeper I go into it, the more I'm going to find that they don't overlap. Personally speaking, so. Even then, it's not really accurate in my opinion. Suzaku is functionally an antagonist and a rival to the MC who has a similar end goal but opposite means of achieving it. I don't see what about Bam is similar to him other than maybe surface level personality traits. I'm kind of in agreement there. So, okay. Later, they're gonna have to tell me where the comment starts and what's replying to, what they're replying to. I don't know. I'm looking at. Is it lacking lack?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to start from the bottom or like you just?
I'm going up, yeah, because the bottom I put it from newest to oldest or oldest to newest. So I think we're starting from 8 days ago, and then the comments get. Wait, hold on. Am I right? I don't even know. I don't read it, bro.
That. I think the newest ones are the.
When I read it, I just started on best comments. To be honest with you, so I don't know how you want to play this, but I just started from the top, went to best comments. That's kind of play.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just go for the best.
You think that's easier? Just straight back to best.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
or
I don't really think it matters. Yes, just start with best.
All right.
Yeah, that way.
So we
start
got,
with best or top.
all right. Maybe I'm wrong because I've been read. What the hell did I just do? Binge read most of Tower of God. But now I feel like everything is so slow. This Nest arc was nearly 100 chapters of the pointless stuff. Calvin was on the good side, then Switch. Yes, was on the bad side, then Switch, but nothing came of both. All that game and cat tower and good fishing stuff for nothing. Honestly, felt like filler. Could have scrapped most of this and just made the Nest like 30, 50 chapters. Someone said, "Thank you for speaking the truth." TOG was very slow since season 2. The workshop arc, especially, then at the end, I don't agree with that. It dragged out a lot. The Hell Train was ridiculously long. Let's not talk about a long doesn't mean dragged out always though, because sometimes you need the time to let it build. But let's not talk about that ish with big beaters in the hidden floor. Yeah, that was made. You guys know I didn't care about anyone who wasn't real in that shit. Baptist, all that, don't care. You're cold. You're not real. I don't fucking care about y'all.
Well, I will say though, I did
Respect
agree
that,
with
John.
the kind of the comment that the Caliban switched to the good side and Yasarachi on the bad side didn't switch and nothing came of it.
Yeah.
I agree with that aspect of their comment because it was kind of like, what was all of this for? Kind of, but yeah, that's about all. About this being pointless. Nah, it wasn't pointless because Bam achieved his goal. He got his master back. And some other things happened. So it wasn't pointless. But a lot of things that happened, things didn't feel like they got proper conclusions. I'll say that. A lot of things that happened in this arc, things were happening and it like varied interest, but nothing seemed to come of it that was too shocking or changing in any way. I'll say it like that, I guess.
Okay.
I do agree though that this arc could probably been way shorter than 100 chapters if that's the right count. Because yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if it's
Maybe not 30.
100 chapters. Is it really that long? I don't think it was that long. Can't be, right?
I think that's about right actually.
Okay.
So yeah, there's like no point in this arc having 100 chapters, especially like
it's inefficient. It's inefficient. It could have been done more efficiently.
It could have. Yeah, I agree with that.
If we were gonna have this long, should have been more one-on-ones or something.
Wait, I'm sorry. When we're talking about Hell Train, are we talking about the entire process of like all the other floors included in it, or like?
Yeah.
No. I don't think they're talking about Hell Train when they say 100 chapters. Though I think they're talking about.
No, I think you're talking about earlier. I think he's talking about earlier because earlier they said the Hell Train was really slow.
Because I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know. I think
Thank you for a subscription.
Hell Train took us through how many floors in the tower?
I don't remember, but it is long. Like if you think about the Hell Train saga in general, it's long. It's long.
Yeah, I think it should be based off like what we've seen of other floors.
Wait, hold on.
Like,
let me go back and read stuff.
Because when we think of like floor 2 is an entire season, we get back on floor 20. Floor 20, the floor 20 thing is what, like 20 chapters, probably. And then like all the other floors, then we get like the Hell Train, which is like we're going through like 10, 15 floors back to back. I think it's fairly. Like lengthwise, it's fairly fine, but could certain things have been shortened or longer? Could time have been allocated better? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. So I'm reading the comment. He said Tower God was very slow in season 2, but then the guy in the very first comment said the Nest arc was like nearly 100 chapters of points.
Oh, the Nest.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, the Nest. Yeah, that's a different combo.
Yeah. I think the only thing with I didn't feel like the only time I felt like Tower God was kind of slow was during the hidden floor. And that's because they were talking a lot more than actually fighting. It was a lot more exposition based and a lot more like lore based than anything that we were doing at up to that point while we were reading it ongoing. So that felt kind of slow, but other than
the payoff was definitely worth it. Yeah, I agree, but the payoff was definitely worth it for the hidden floor though. So it's kind of just
I think it's important to mention though what the problem that some people have when something being slow sometimes. Oh, what's up, man? yes, I love that emote. It is great. I need more like that. Unmoved. But I think the issue sometimes is for some people I don't think they understand what they mean when they're saying slow, but for them they're not getting the payoff they want, so they perceive it that way. Here's what I mean. Use Kubera for example. Nothing's really meaningless. Even if you're like, damn it, she's dragging her feet here, so to speak, maybe, and she's taking her time to kind of craft this like setup. You get the payoff after. So even if it took a while and it was slow, you feel gratification when it comes to fruition, when it comes full circle. we get things like the Yama and Yasracha conflict being set to be this big thing and fizzling out with a whimper. And you're like, what's the effing point? You see what I'm saying? That I think that is very frustrating in Tower of God because a lot of those things happen. Like, you're like, oh, Caliban and Karaka versus Caliban because of Hajin's song. It's like, what became of that? Then he's like, Liboric. It's so nonsensical sometimes. So it's very frustrating, especially if you have a very rational mind. It's going to infuriate you more. Some people read more for emotion and stuff like that, and they're not going to go that deep, and that's fine. I get it. And if you're a complete new reader and you're binge reading it, you're not gonna see it the same way as long-term readers. So I can understand why new readers who read something like One Piece or Tower of God are really high on it. They hadn't had to have the week-to-week experience and kind of talk about it and really, really be a part of the community in that way. Where like we really believe that Tower of God became something very different in the third season. It's not what it was from the first two. Like, based on the breadcrumb trail and the way that it was being set up, you never thought we'd be here. This is not this kind of the type of narrative Tower of God was at least presenting itself to be. There was a paradigm shift somewhere, I'd argue. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but yeah.
No, I feel definitely where you're coming from.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I don't have anything to change.
Yep, SAU portrays the foundation of that he himself stats. It's annoying. I agree. All right, so let's see. Workshop. The workshop arc especially dragged it a lot. It was ridiculously long. Hell Train. There were new flaws in season 3, but you don't think it's being slow as one of them? I don't know if I'd call season 3 slow, so I may probably agree with that. Just mid for a lot of it. The workshop, half of the nest. The Hell Train's 100 chapters. Blah blah. I don't care about this. Oh, Dr. Bonehead's here. I'm jumping in here late. Oh, there you go. The nest so far has roughly 76 chapters, 49 to 170, to 49 to 125. As of right now, the workshop battle had roughly 72, 38 to 110. I can only assume the nest will end soon. I'm not sure what you said is correct. Then could be wrong while listening to your opinions and discussion. There you go. Maybe I should start commenting on Reddit. I don't though. Come to the channel. Come to the channel. Yes, you're right. Numbers were off. Maybe because SAU took some breaks. It felt longer. Didn't want to say anything since I know you're. Oh, me personally, I think there's so. Wait, I know you don't go. You're not in the power scaling, but I'll have to see you do a video on how strong you think the verse is. Maybe bringing others like Nida. Oh shoot. You know, sometimes I'm shocked. Sometimes I'm shocked when they know who I am. I really am. I won't lie to you. Me personally, they think so high tier, but people think they max out at Enryu being.
But this is the
he's going like he's going full like, like destructive capability of fork. Okay, I'm not here for that. Okay, it's not uncommon to see comments on neighbor that the family heads Jihad and Rishon to the right, dude. Those Koreans go hard on irrational hate. Except those saying Rachel's in the right, those people are factually correct. 100% agree. Why that are correct? Is it true that they have a lot of irrational hate? I don't know if that's true. I've only heard this from the gaming side of from like League of Legends and stuff like that, where like apparently they're like really harsh on games, but I don't follow their culture like that, so I'm ignorant.
To me, it's just kind of honestly, but the problem is that it felt like we got when we were doing the Chicken Love Club and we were the kind of like the first people. I don't want to say we were the first people, but we were the first people that I remember that we started having complaints about the series. It felt like nobody else was having complaints. And I can't say that they weren't at all, but it felt like it still had a super strong positivity, thing over there. It was really big over there. And then the anime happened and all that. But I want to say over the past like 2 years post, I'll just call it after COVID. After COVID happened, that's when everybody started being like, I don't know, maybe this is not as great as we thought it was.
They said I got clout. I'm gonna be like Buggy. That's crazy. Hey man, I like Buggy. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I think the biggest issue ultimately is I think a lot of the long-term fans definitely feel betrayed by just like, cause I'm gonna read Haku's comment after, but he said something that I like wholeheartedly agree with. And we'll get into that. But all right, let's read some more comments here. So, Sloppy Joe, you're here. I know you were in the chat earlier. I don't know if you're still here. So it's time for your comment, bro. The Korean online toxicity is next level. The West can't compete. Really? I'm actually shocked by that. I don't. But maybe that's because that's just my own personal bias. I only see the West complain, so to speak. So, Poor SIU, the Korean fans are truly next level. If that's the only stuff SIU reads, I can imagine not feeling the best. Imagine if you're trying to branch out your story, try something different, all while spending hours in pain over the story you're drawing, only to read all that hate. I don't think that's. I mean, that's life. When you do work, you get criticized for it. You get praise, you get
I don't
adoration, you
even
get paid, you get criticized for it. You know, I don't think that's not.
You and me
To
have
me,
to
to
talk
me,
about this
to
off
me, I guess it
screen, but
depends.
just to throw it
I guess it depends on what they mean by hate. Because if he's getting consistent like death threats and shit, then I would say that's
Okay,
fine.
yeah. Complete unwarranted, and
Oh,
that's
so
always
yeah.
overboard. True, fair
And
enough.
I think what Ben saying in the comments is kind of a joke, but kind of serious. Because like bullying in Korea is like even like from like a kid's perspective, like it's like pretty bad over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't know if it's like over exaggerated, like in the media they show from like TV shows and shit. Like like they like literally be like beating the dog shit out of people in bathrooms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there like from what I've seen and heard, there is a certain degree of like it actually is very bad over there. So like I can somewhat imagine how that can be transferable to like certain people's work and stuff like that.
Mm. Interesting.
On screen, but you and me at some point are gonna have to talk about because it's happening in sports too. This thing where everybody is just feels like you can't criticize anybody who does anything on a professional level, and I don't get it. I don't understand why people feel like, oh, because somebody's doing this at the highest level, that means they're devoid of criticism. I don't get that mentality, but I don't want to talk about that now. That's like a bigger conversation.
I actually I mean the way the comments stated it kind of makes it seem like he only gets hate. I'm pretty sure Steve gets way more love than hate. It's just you're seeing more criticism nowadays, but he definitely probably gets a lot of love as well. But yeah.
You gotta take the good with the bad. Well, I mean, fair enough. If he's getting unwarranted hate, I can understand that being annoying and whatnot. But Vince, I actually kind of want to talk about that. Since you brought it up, it just makes sense to me because it's this like I want to make it clear that to a certain degree I understand. For example, okay, like I get it. Like if you never played basketball ever and you're like like a part of the analytical community. What do you call it? Analysts, whatever. I don't know what they're called over there. The number crunchers. Your Daryl Morey's. Whatever the case may be. Right. I understand sometimes when people are like, "Yo, you never played the game, so like, be quiet." But a lot of those guys understand the game from a theoretical standpoint. If they've been around it for a long time, I do think they understand it and they understand what their numbers mean and how it relates to the game. I think you still need both the eye test, watch it, the context plus numbers to kind of get the full story. But I can get it because like for certain things, like for example, I want you to be and look the part for certain things. If I'm somebody who's coming to get trained to be in good weight, you better not be 5'8" and 380 pounds. I'm not. You don't live that life. You're not gonna help me get fit. And sometimes when I criticize something, people will be like, "Well, like you can't do anything better." Like, "Oh, writing is hard," blah blah. I'm like, I've always said that. I admit that, but you can't even use it against me because I have published work. You know what I'm saying? Remember for the Hunter video, I started off by talking about the things that I've published and like my background in education and whatnot. Where it's like, I felt the need to do that because I thought somebody was going to criticize me at the level like, well, you never made a manga before. How would you know? So it is, I do actually think that is a problem that some people do have. And you're right, it is becoming more and more prevalent throughout. I do think some of the criticism and hate is irrational and it's not very logical. But I think that you should, for the most part, concede and listen to experts on certain things. But just because you're not an expert doesn't mean you shouldn't have a voice.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna compare this to the sports thing real quick. Okay, because I was listening to a podcast and they were basically kind of confirmation bias, confirming how I felt, but they took it to levels that even I didn't think about as far as like explaining. So I'm gonna explain this to the thing because there's a big war if y'all don't know it, like in sports right now. This whole thing between new media and old media. First of all, I would like to say that's all dumb. They're all media. Second of all, I was listening to this podcast and they were basically explaining that like sometimes it feels like players and fans don't even understand the fundamental job of what the media is supposed to be doing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If me and Nye are playing basketball and Nye shoots 4 of 18 and I shoot 2 of 16, We had bad games. Call it like it is. We play like shit. We were terrible. But the problem that happens in sports a lot of the time is there are certain media members, especially the ones on TV, for entertainment purposes. The problem is it goes too far because they stick to that narrative and they never hop off. They can't. You're supposed to be kind of a balance between talking about the good and the bad. If somebody plays bad, it's your obligation to say they play bad. They play good, supposed to play good. The problem is for both sides. There's media member for media. There's people that want to stick to their agendas and narrative and never want to move off. When you have if you do 35, 10, and 10, they're gonna talk about all the stuff that Nye didn't do. Nye put 35, 10, and 10 on the board. They're gonna be like, oh, but he didn't hit the last 2 free throws, stuff like that.
Someone said just say Skip Bayless. Well, keep going.
But it's more than just him, because there's so many of them. They don't even know what they say. So I don't want to just. But obviously, a lot of people think he's part of it. And also, the reason I think about this because I want to be part of the media one day. So I can't just go off and just start slandering media people. I want to be part of the media one day, even though I'm not going to agree with all of this. But also, there's this thing too that there's this belief that players can't be wrong and players can't lie, have their own confirmation bias. Give you a perfect example. Patrick Beverly went on, those shows and talked all that bad about Chris Paul. But if we go by y'all information, why should I be like, oh, he's lying? Like he's not telling the truth. He's a professional, right?
Yeah.
He's played basketball at the highest level. He's been on contenders. He's been on playoff teams. So what right do I have to criticize him? You see how that's a dumb argument? Don't work like that. Players can be wrong. Yeah. If we compare that back to writing, writers can do things and be wrong. Because I'll say it like this. I've had, and I don't want to go on too long of a tangent with this type of stuff. But sometimes I really sit and think about when I'm watching a movie or reading a manga or anything. Sometimes there are points when I'm read something, I'm just like, okay, no, I'm not an expert in anything like this. How do I know if this is good or bad? Like, I think about that even with acting. I'm like, I'm not an actor. I don't particularly know the ins and outs of acting. How do I know if this is good acting? And the truth of the matter is, to make a long story short, you don't really 100% can be like yes or no, because a lot of this stuff is subjective. But what I'll say is there is some logical things that you can point to when it comes to writing, especially that things just make sense. For example, how Nye always talks about when he's reading Kubert, connectivity. Everything feels like it has a purpose. It all comes back and ties to something else. Nothing feels wasted. That's good writing. You know why that's good writing? Because she wrote this with the intent of using it later and tying it back to something else. If you're just writing without a purpose, how can I say that's good writing? You may like it, but that don't mean it's good. There has to be some logic. And I feel like when it comes to manga, webtoons, whatever, a lot of things that happen is that a lot of authors appeal to people's emotions. Like, I was reading Naruto lately, and I was like, a lot of things in Naruto is really positive. The message, the narrative, the themes he puts on the thing is really positive. So I can't say that he wasn't trying to do something good, but that doesn't make it good just because you do that. And that's kind of a problem I feel like Tower of God happens. There are things there that is interesting, positive, good messaging. He may be talking about lost family, or he's going with Bam with introspection. He could be talking about, moral dilemmas. He's talking about real things that you can relate to in the real world. But how does he utilize that to make it good? But I'm going to just stop there.
I got what you're saying. It's like when people be like, they tie certain things back to their references and allusions from real life and being like, this is based off this and based off that. And that's cool and great and good catch if you caught that. But it still has to tie in properly to this narrative. Just because you base this off something doesn't make it great. Just because you alluded to something or not doesn't mean that it has any meaning inside the actual context of the narrative. So I agree with that. I hear you.
And I think that's a problem that Tower of God is kind of having. The foundation of what the story was tend to doing and how it is now, let's just be honest. Like I said, it's not the same. It's really not. It's not the same. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because I was upset and very angry about that for a long time, and I've come to grips with it's just not the same story.
Yeah.
But let's
But
not
don't
act like
but don't be
yeah,
disingenuous and act like it's not true.
yeah, exactly.
That's all. So yeah. While I agree that TOG has its flaws and their criticism are somehow valid, I won't be surprised if TOG will end abruptly because SIU gave up halfway. I can't imagine how burdensome it is mentally and physically to be a big shot artist who created one of the most popular long-running webtoons in Korea. I won't blame SIU if he ended TOG after a few more arcs. Hopefully, this will just stay as criticism and not hate towards the author. And again, hate towards an author and stuff is too far. I don't care about that stuff like that. But I'm obviously like not, I don't know how young this commentary is or old they are, but like I truly believe that once you become a public figure and put out a public work that people could consume, you're gonna get good. You're gonna get the good with the bad. You gotta take the pros with the cons. As much as Tower God blew up, it's getting volumes now in French, English, like physical. I got an anime and all those things. You gotta take the good with the bad. And sometimes you're gonna get a lot of criticism, a lot of hate, and people may not be feeling a stretch of your story. And if you are not strong enough to push through that, this is not the profession for you. You should not be doing this. You might think I'm being harsh saying that. So be it. But it's not for you. It's the same way a lot of people do not like what I have to say about a plethora of series on that I speak about here. Hunter x Hunter is obviously one of them. People don't like my takes on Togashi, stuff like that. But I have my opinion. I have my right to say it, and they could literally hate me for it. That's part of being on a public platform. I have to accept that. The same way that I have people, a lot of you guys supporting me on Patreon, liking and commenting the video, putting some money in my bank account, helping me out, it's going to come with some drawbacks, and I'm willing to accept those. Being able to do this, and ultimately, if I can do this full time or whatever, it's a privilege. So I'm not going to whine and complain about those type of things. It sucks. I obviously have to battle through it mentally and emotionally, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, the comment section is being mean to me. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
I just want to add,
Hockey
first
up,
of all,
nigga. Go ahead.
do we even know that he even do we even know if he even checks the comments? Because if I was,
don't.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was an author, I would not check my comments. Why would I do that?
I mean,
That's not.
I would.
yeah, we'll
I
never
would
know
have
for
my
sure,
editor.
but
I would have.
I think he is the type from based off what I've
From the blog posts.
known, we've seen from the blog posts and stuff like that. I think he is the type of person that values fan interaction and what the fans think. Now, does he care about international fans? No idea. But at least the
No, I mean,
homegrown fans, I think he cares about how they're perceiving the series, what they want to see. Because I feel like he said it, but I can't remember exact blog posts. It's been too long. But I feel like he said as much in a couple of blog posts here and there. So he's the type
I
of
mean,
person, even
even
if he's not looking at it, somebody's looking at it for him. I agree with
yeah,
you.
that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't do that. And I said this before because I'm kind of like I kind of get the Curry, not always to compare them, but one of the things I like about Curry Gom is that love it or hate it, because you don't have to love it, but love it or hate it, I feel like she's going to write what she wants to write regardless.
She's writing the story the way she wants to write it. Yeah.
Yeah. The only people I feel like you should be listening to is your editors and people you trust. If you have some writer friends or something like that, if you're asking them and you ask for their 2 cents,
Now,
that's it.
that's
I'm not listening
yeah,
to
that's
nobody.
what I was saying. I was just saying, maybe he doesn't get maybe he doesn't get exactly the comments. Maybe his editor takes it to him and gives a filtered version without any of the really hatred or anything. Because that's what I would do. I'd have my editor look at it and see, oh, these are actual complaints, and then maybe not change my story, but take it into account. Maybe
Just
or
not be tone deaf, because ultimately, at the end of the day, without the fan base, you don't have a job. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people and plenty of stories have been helped by listening to fan reaction. There's stories where people were planning to get rid of characters and stuff like that, and they end up not doing that because they didn't expect the fans to like it and it ended up benefiting them. So it's not like the fans are always wrong. I think you just need to have a healthy respect for your fan base, but they're not, at the end of the day, you're the right.
Yeah.
You still ultimately make the call.
Yeah, I got you. Y'all saying real quick. We're happy with the last chapter. See if it'll affect direction at all. We'll see, because one of the things we noticed for a long time, because we've been this is my 4th year of being a content creator. I've been talking with Tower God since since towards the part of my 1st year. And one thing we notice a lot of the times is it seems like he's afraid to not have Bam on screen. like the Korean fans, like when Bam's not there, they like tweak out. So it looks like he feels obligated and forced to always have Bam be there or be the center of attention. And I don't. I mean, it's up to him, but I wouldn't listen to them for something like that specifically. I would write it the way I want to write it. And if I have to have a Yuri arc or something or Wagner arc, I would do it. One of the favorite things about stories is how things connected. I can't read a story that doesn't connect plot points. I agree. You should be able to take criticism. I agree. Now you're right on needing to accept the criticism or at least understand that's just what happens. Get that tough skin. Fans shouldn't write your story, but you should take the criticism and be able to write what you want. Some editors aren't trustworthy. That's fair. That's fair. I agree with that. So Naya, would you say Oda does the same thing, writing the story he wants, no matter how ridiculous it seems to fans? Because a lot of fans hated how goofy Gear 5th was. I think Oda had to repurpose a lot of things and change up the general makeup of how he tells the story, but I think he's genuinely telling the story he wants to tell, I would argue. I say that because I know that he's very terrible at allotting and knowing how long they're going to take. So he did things like, I think Dressrosa was supposed to be an island with just the toys, and then Green Bit or whatever with the Tontada were supposed to be separate islands, and he starts to merge the concepts together into one island for the sake of time and I guess efficiency, even though Dressrosa is a very, very disorganized arc. So things have changed in terms of the way maybe he has to go about it, but I'd argue for the most part he's telling the story he wants to tell. Now on the people saying that the Gear 5th stuff was a little bit too goofy, that's hard for me to comment on because I don't know what they think One Piece is sometimes. I really don't. Some One Piece fans really baffle me with how they perceive the series. I don't see it the way they do. I think One Piece and like JoJo are series that I judge by that creative team at their best. I don't really compare them to other people because I don't think Araki's storytelling style really, you can really compare it to like conventional writing, especially once you read manga theory and practice and you understand how his mind works. You're like, he's right different. So yeah. It's really hard to listen to the fans though. Of all they want is if they all want different things. I agree. It's not about like capitulate, listen to the fans. It's just not being tone deaf. Like, again, if you're like, I don't give a because like I'll say this, like, so you hear a lot of like you see a lot of people or creators and stuff who are like, if you don't fucking care, you don't fucking like it, you have to fucking watch and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get that, but that's a little ignorant because at the end of the day, if you're a public figure or a podcaster or something like that, or you're selling something, what do you do if you have no one to sell to? Did you guys see like some of those like stores? Not to get like into like current events, but there's some stores who do things like, yo, if you want to apply here, you have to be like a BIPOC. You can't be like a white man. And it's like, you understand, like for like certain areas in like in America or whatever, that is the most percentage of people. So you've just eliminated the like largest customer base you had. Is that smart for business? You see what I'm saying? So it's incumbent upon you to not be tone deaf, but you don't have to literally bow down to your fans and prostrate before them. Just don't be completely divorced from them, but tell your story. That's all it is. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but
no, I agree. Also, my thing is, I feel like a lot of times you can tell if a large percentage of your fans are clamoring for one thing or hating one thing. You'll be able to tell. It's not going through each individual comment, but if you're seeing something, a particular point that's popping up a lot, or you're hearing a lot of the clamors of something, or people worried about something, you'll know. You know, your friends and family, your editor, people will tell you. They'll be like, oh, you know, there's a large percentage of fans that are really worried that this character's gonna die, and you know, or here we got this popularity poll, and this character's doing really, really good. Like you'll know. It's not just going through and reading individual comments and being like, oh, well, this person said this and this person did it. That's why I said at that point, don't listen to that. Yeah. This is a large clamor. You should at least take it into consideration of a large, you know, where there's fire, there's smoke. If you hear a large percent of people clamoring or disliking or liking something, you should at least take heed of that. Acknowledge it.
That's all.
That don't mean you got to do it. At the end of the day, it's still your choice. But, you know, it's there. Acknowledge it.
Exactly. I swear to God, if you binge read season 3, it is amazing. TOG shouldn't be weekly. Oh, boy. What this argument? My head. All right. It needs to be weekly. It needs to become a monthly manhwa so each chapter can be longer, cover more. Isn't Tower God like... Just before I finish this. Out of any webtoon that you read, Would you guys argue that Tower God has the longest chapters by far? That's just me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it definitely feels like it.
Definitely is.
I think God of High Schools they're about the same.
We're talking about good stuff. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't do that.
But still,
I'll
they're
write
both
for
on the
God of High
low.
School.
I mean, they're both on the longer
But they're
side,
both
though.
yeah, they're both longer running series.
Okay.
But I mean I still think Tower of God probably is like, yeah, it has the most pages per chapter.
Okay. TOG
Especially when we look at the Hashiracha chapter.
Yeah, that was long. Oh my god. TOD shouldn't be weekly. It needs to become a monthly model so each chapter can be longer, cover more detail, be better appreciated. It sounds like people are just sick of waiting a week for chapters. When the entire series is complete, everyone's gonna love it. I disagree. In my opinion, it's good, decent, but nowhere near amazing. It is simply not. Yeah, I don't like this argument more often than not because here's the thing I'll say, and I somewhat understand this, right? When you read something in a binge because you don't have so much time to like digest it, like if you're reading it weekly, you have a week to think about it, probably talk about it, and get like understand the chapter perspectives and different people's opinions, blah blah yada yada. But binge reading something and reading it weekly does not change the literal content of the story. It's the same, regardless if you read it on a week to week basis or if you read it in a binge read. So that argument to me has never made sense. To get a greater like sense of cohesiveness in one sit down, I understand an arc finishing. I'm like, okay, now let me just read it in long format just to see how it perfectly strings together. But it doesn't actually change the actual contents. Though I want to say that there are times where I've read something in the after it's completed, like an arc or something, and I've taken it a lot better. Like it flowed better than I thought. But I don't think that's saying that people are just tired of the week to week, and I don't think that's not right. That's not the problem, in my opinion. That's not the issue. I like this name, Stoned Charmander. I like that. I kind of agree in general. I think even though TOG has many problems, most would be cleared with killing almost all regulars. Oh my god. The potential is still there. The series could be absolutely huge in terms of plot, story, political stuff, and great scenes. Yeah, just kill the regulars and squander all the audience investment in them that's built up over 500 plus chapters. Great idea. Oh, you're being sarcastic. I mean, what do you think about that comment?
I mean, there's no point in killing these characters. Like,
no, see, the thing is, he got the third comment right there, so that's why I can't even. Because then he says this is an evaluation of the entire series. I'm obviously talking about the entire series. I said before somewhere else. Now it's far too late.
Oh, okay.
So
what's up, Milios? TOG has been the longest chapters I'm able to have read. Fair enough. I don't think I would have started TOG if it had as many chapters as today. Fair. I'm late. What did I miss? We're just talking about Korea's kind of viewpoints on the series right now and whatnot. So, Tagos already long. Yes. What's up? What did I miss? What's up? High and low. Welcome. The Harash chapter was long. There's one. I think one of the chapters with Nea was long too. Am I right on that one? I think one of them was really long. Probably. Yes. Yeah. Probably was always. It always feels short when it has a bunch of action panels, but that's a universal thing. Yeah, because you're not talking as much. You're kind of reading the action, so it'll go by quicker that way. The binge excuse never worked for me. You don't just analyze as closely in a binge read as you do weekly. That's why you reread things. Fair. I agree. He's based. Sometimes people just want a series to change to such a degree that it doesn't even the same series anymore. As a man who did read TOG, all I can say is kill Bam, F him. This is an evaluation of the entire series. I'm obviously talking about the entire series. I said it before somewhere else, but it's too late. The regulars make up like 80% of the most popular characters. Killing them would tank the series. Most of the complaints levied have risen with the increases of rankers, not regulars being around. I actually agree with that. I think most of us want to see like Hatsu and Young Sleep, aka Lore and Anak and Dorsey do something, be important, be a part of the story again. People, I mean, shoot, we got a Wagner fan in here. Like, shoot, we ever ran? Somebody in here hasn't seen Ran in like a decade, bro. Like, so.
Yep.
You don't want to.
I don't give a fuck about Cha. Cha can go fucking somewhere else. I actually don't mind him anymore. But my point is, he can leave. I want the regulars to do more, so I don't. But I understand we're like at this point, the regulars aren't gonna keep up doing something. Just get rid of them. Like I don't even think that's a crazy thing to get. Like at this point, I could understand you being so frustrated. You just say that. I honestly do. I don't agree though. Still no, but wake up, Laura. You can never forget SE for how we treated Elaine. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so tired of it. Elaine and Croc, so I'm suffering. Like I said in another post, now it's far too late, and that for me, this is a major mistake in the series because I said you would have to create a story where regulars who are weak against trash rankers will have to be kept alive while fighting against rankers, high rankers, and family heads. We will have to see hundreds of random characters dying without a single regular between the dozens of from BAM's group will die. There's no sense of danger in the series when it comes to regulars from BAM's group. There's no tension. Basically what you're saying. No tension. The tension is gone. There's no real
Yeah,
fear
something
of
we used to
consequences.
argue all the time, but
Yeah,
I don't
I just
necessarily even agree that's gonna be true. My bad, Miles. I don't even necessarily agree that that's gonna be true the entire time. But see, that just tells you though how some people are feeling. They don't even feel like Bam got all these groups, and they don't even feel like none of them are gonna die like ever. Like,
Yeah.
but go ahead, Miles.
I was just gonna say, I think this is like a very good like showing of like the fact that we've reached a point where people can say things like trash rankers to me has shown that SIU has gone completely off the rails of how he should have how like the true portrayal of rankers should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like even to the point like when the series is over, I don't think rankers should have ever have the connotation of being like disrespected ever based off what has been built up for what the tower is, the floors and testing you have to go through, the scheming, the plotting, the training. It's kind of I'm trying to think of like a good like this is gonna be kind of like a really bad analogy, but it's kind of like with Lucky Charms, right? When you're a kid, you get all the grains, and the grains are like regulars, and then like when you get the marshmallows, that's the good shit, that's the rankers, and then like as a kid, you'd be like, I want to get all the marshmallow candies that I can fit in a bowl and enjoy that, and for a time, it's good. You know, like when we first get a bunch of rankers and high rankers in the story, like in season 2, you like it. And then it gets to a point where that is now normalized and you're like, this is just too fucking much. Let's go back to the old shit and get a better ratio. That's what I feel like has happened.
Okay.
And that's what I feel like has happened.
Okay. Interesting. What did you say, Milios? They're the only regulars I've seen fly. What regulars I've seen fly? We've seen what? Bam and Dorsey, Rack, Aguero. Who else have we seen fly as a regular? Am I missing anybody? I guess Data Jihad and Data Kunadwan or whatever, if you want to use that. We need Shibisu. Yeah, you know. So I got you, East. Isu gang. You know I'm here. We need that. You know I'm here. You know I need that. They're only the tower needs Wagner. Karaka might get though eventually, but this TOG so we don't get nice things. The CBLs are eating though. They want more BAM, which is crazy to me. Yeah, they're good. If you're a BAM fan, you're great, like for the most part. Unless you're like what I'd argue, and don't get mad at me, like a real BAM fan, and because you don't see him struggle or go through any real trials and tribulation, you're actually lower on him. He's become less interesting to you, which is what I would consider myself less interested because he doesn't go through any real hardship, in my opinion. You'll build up all these characters, regular characters for season 2. Milios, are you free? Hop in, bro. You build up all these regular characters for season 2, and then all of a sudden, silent all of them and introduce these rankers no one cares about. Feel that. Can't lose to say Elaine used to be best girl. Man, I'm in the trenches. Reading this chat and hearing this stream makes me so happy that I never read TOG. That's crazy. There's gonna be some major time skips for our regulars to get stronger. No doubt. I thought Rack and Aguero kind of getting a portion of White's power was like, oh, you're so sick. Okay, my bad. I forgot. You were sounding. I remember you're thinking that video. I could tell you're like, oh, my boy's not well. But get better, bro. Might as well Lucky Charms analogy. Shake my head. Wheat thins better though. Lucky Charms greatness. Well said, young scholar. Lore Cherry Lyle. Yep. The team sleep. Wants to call family. Lore. I Lucky Charms an adult. I thought my teeth would fall out. Cinnamon toast. Crunch for the win. Those was 2 I was talking about. The rest have asterisks. Oh, cause like bong and stuff. I think you're thinking about, right? Fair. Yeah, you lost the ratio of regulars to rankers. Somebody, I didn't even know Sibby was in the chat. He met somebody. What's up, Sibby? I had Bam in A, now put him in F. That's to me because my favorite character is the 1.2, even top 3. Yeah, I used to really like Bam. I really did. So Cornflakes, I used to like Frosted Flakes when I could. I'm like
Speak
super.
on it.
I'm like super
on it.
duper mega lactose. Like I could look at milk and have to take a shit. So,
That's great.
but yeah. Oh shoot! Making sure the ape nation stay clean. I respect. Thank you, sir. You're. We need your services here. All right. So did I read this post already? No sense of danger. Killing almost all the regulars would cause more problems than it would fix. Why? Okay, let's go into it. Let's get into it. What do you do when your protagonist is so much stronger than the rest of the group he started with? You either kill most of them or you let them go. Now it's far too late. The notable regulars evolved in the current storylines make up the majority of the recognizable supporting cast around the protagonist. SIU killing most of them, regardless of the fashion, is equivalent to shooting himself in the foot, figuratively speaking. Tower of God has already been tanking, added more wood to the fire, is going to exacerbate the process. I think the easy solution for this, for what they're talking about specifically, is to obviously just do the I could call it Toriyama hand job. You just power them up. Whatever ridiculous means you need to do, you give them external power ups to help them catch up, like we did with White, with Rack and Aguero. You do that for multiple characters. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't see no other option. The best
fix is the issue. Nothing you can do now. We have to slap a Band-Aid on it. To me, that's the best Band-Aid you could probably use for a situation like this. That's in my opinion.
I would rather Bam.
Oh, go ahead, Mom.
I was gonna say I would rather Bam just be removed from the story until like they reach the natural progression of power. That's me. I understand that would take a really long time, and that would be an extremely long time without seeing Bam. So maybe you could have him doing like some side missions with Fug or something, or like sprinkle that in for fans. But like I mean I don't like the quick here's a power boost, especially when the power level discrepancies in Tower of God are so huge. So, but that's me.
No, I'd say just give them time because like one of the things that I think TOD doesn't utilize that it really should is the long how long people live. Like people live for thousands of years. Like you can probably do like a 54, like a super long time skip, and it still makes sense because of how long these people be living, and have Bam be on the side and doing his own stuff. Though I don't know how that would work right now because the growth Bam's shown in like a few months is it's like unless you put them, you probably need to just seal them away now. But I don't know how possible that is.
Bonjour, mon coeur. Just do a God of high school and get Bam the hell out of here. Thought they couldn't rack power balls so they could go with Bam and split up the regulars. Not sure now. Thank you for the follow. Facts. I've been praying Bam be captured or something, but SC's afraid of making Bam incapacitated. Wagnan has the sword. Just use the sword to make him OD. There you go. Honestly, people with a backstory like TOG removing Bam gives him fans. Wait, what? Honestly, with the start of TOG removing Bam gives his fans time to appreciate other characters more. With how Bam was progressing so fast, I was sure Bam would have gone missing after the nest. He would have get Wagner and Rachel's point of view after missing until season 4 for a couple of arcs. If they would get to season 4, I don't even know. You have 50. That means 50 people are shoot. Shout out to y'all. There you go, Vince. Shoot.
Hey, there. That's what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we're like 48 to like 52. Jesus Christ. Bam getting gone for maybe 2,000 to 3,000 years might give his friends enough time to catch up. But the thing about it is, where's Bam? If Bam is still, I guess ultimately we just need him to catch up to high rankers, not Bam specifically. So never mind, it wouldn't even matter.
Maybe even just rankers. Rankers could work as well. Not even high rankers.
I'd say at least probably like advanced on average, because I kind of like I don't read the whole comment here, so let me just read it first. Let me see. It's too late now, in my opinion. I think SIU should have elected 5 to 8 regulars to follow Bam, and that's that. You don't need to kill them as long as they were useful. So I kind of agree with this to a certain degree because I kind of skimmed this. Kun is like Aguero, using the old spelling. Kun, Aguero, and Isu are highly intelligent, so they're always going to be useful. Hawkins can see the future. Huarun is a godlike guide, but apparently she's not regular. And Anak, Yewa, and Dorsey wait, yeah, Nak and Dorsey because they're princesses, and the Nak is a demi princess, and I almost called her Yeon. Yeon, Elwell wants to be the head of the Yeon family, so they have reasons for be there. Rachel means past and future, maybe Rack for some comic relief. I can accept a story where 5 irregulars never get killed while fighting a war against high rankers and the family heads. It's BS, but I can accept. You have more space to develop all of them, maybe even some training arc or something or whatever. I just think you need to trim the fat to some degree. Like what's that girl who used to Candy and like Boro and
Bero.
Sachi and stuff? Leave.
Bero.
Masang.
Yeah, Bero.
I'm sorry, guys. Masang, you're done.
Well, me saying, oh, I know. No
You're
need to
done.
stand
I,
for
like,
my
I,
daughter.
actually, I actually like Missing. I like all of the
You-
old.
But are they really
Think
important?
I mean, they're not even in the story
no
right
one,
now.
I mean, I can make the argument no one's really important.
Were they even fake important? At
I
least
think so.
Anak is a demi princess. You know what I'm saying? Her mom was
I mean-
killed for breaking the law of what being like. There's things you can like. I know we're rationalizing, but you can cling on to for hope. Like, oh, one day we'll get the conclusion of this. You don't even have that for some of these characters. They were never important. They're just there, nigga. Amigo Chaz is like in every fucking panel, and he don't do nothing. He's been
Okay,
what are you doing here? He looks cool though, so I'm not mad at it. But nigga, like, what does he do? He's just there.
He's just a strong
Yeah.
silent type. He's the I'll pull up and I mean I don't think he's ever won a fight, but you know he look raw. I don't know.
Shit, funny, bro. Like, he's really just there. And my panels looking raw, but all right. More than that, very positive arcs for Horang, Rand, Beta, Novik, Verdi, Y. It's the same as Lisu's group. Hatsu is in my top 5 regulars in the series, but I know he simply doesn't matter. I mean, after that thing with Kendrick, DL, and Cha, I knew he was cooked. He should eat. And if you know what the worst part about that is, that's how you build my hopes up with the white seed. So I'm like, hold on, okay. And then this is what Dong Hui or Don Hua does. I'm like, no, this is mid. I don't like this. So, it is what it is, though. You either get killed or back off. If you clean the trash or regulars and focus on a small group of them, the story will become much more fluid. If you focus rankers, high rankers, the story will be fast, easier to write. People start to like them. But as I said, I agree with my. Wait. But as I said, and I agree with myself. LOL is far too late now. Okay. Sachi and Drip.
So I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
be in the background a bit more, but I am still going to be here.
Okay.
But I'm going to be on mute for a while, so I'll be kind of inconsistent. So don't call on me. I'll jump in.
All right. It's like Arya in the last 20 chapters. She's in every BAM team panel, but no dialogue. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how he won't just kind of do what he needs to do. So the fodder rankers kind of hurt my immersion. I can't lie. Chicken Love Club podcast. Masang Slander is still the most funniest shit to me. I mean, I get it, I guess, to some degree, but she's not important. It's not moving me. Maybe Bam could get consumed by losing control of his power and be banners sealed for a long time. That'll happen, but who knows? Hearing that China is hooping, y'all got any stories from there? Of course, tons. I don't read as much things from there as other people do, but there's a couple things I read. But I watch more Donho than anything, like Legend of Hay and Scissor 7 and 100,000 Bad Jokes, Big Fish in Begonia, Fog Hill of 5 Elements. There's so many I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, right? But it's not coming to me right now. But yeah, I mean, I've made videos about one of those. But maybe one day I'll just do a Don Hua recommendation in general. But give me time. I don't understand how Masang made it to the 20th floor. Literally, everyone on the second floor was stronger. Hey man, she was training. Go ahead.
Why are you disrespecting my daughter for, man? This needs to stop.
Yeah.
We have Karaka running around and you're standing there me saying, okay.
Link. Oh, Will Eternal. That's a good one. Let me just pull up my folder real quick. Where is my folder?
Will Eternal's cool.
Donghua. What do I have here? I don't even have on my you know what? It's on my hard drive from my last computer. It's not here, but there's a lot of great animation that comes out of China, man. It's like phenomenal. Okay. it's just hard to keep track of what's going on in the fights nowadays. Yeah, absolutely, just flashy streaks of lights, just filters and overlays, and I think it was you. I think it was Scobe who said this. I think it was Scobe. Visual noise. Shout out to you. That's what I think it is. I just can't make out any real continuity with the. Yeah, it doesn't flow well. So yeah. I don't get the comments criticizing the Korean readers. The post basically mirrors our own Tower God down to a T. Oh, someone's saying, yo, hold on. Only exception is we don't see too many posts or comments saying jihad, 10 heads, and families are in the right, though I am surprised they're also upset about the power scaling and BAM. Before this, I've heard all they wanted was BAM to be OP like Urek and selling Tower alone. That is kind of true. Like, I thought they wanted that. Do you guys agree? Like, I heard like they were super into BAM being in every scene and everything. That so this kind of paradigm shift. Maybe they're like, maybe they went too far. I don't know. I don't know like how popular things like solo leveling and whatnot are over there in those parts. But I would argue that Koreans really like power fantasies. Would you agree?
They really do. Because solo leveling
Is mid.
not good.
I get it.
my
The main
God.
character is cool. Like always said,
He's
he
not.
earned.
He's not.
No, he's
He's
cool
not.
in the sense like he has like traditional like rawness, the rawness factor that people like. Like my version of cool is different than people's version of cool, but I understand it from a contemporary standpoint. He's a cool character, and I think what he did to gain his ability, I'm cool with it because he's the one who figured out the little stuff at the beginning. I won't spoil it for anyone who wants to get into it. By the way, I never read the actual novel. Maybe the novel does things differently than the webtoon does, so I'm not going to comment on that. It does or doesn't?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. I'll tell you this. I read the light novel and majority of the manga. I will say this: as an adaptation from the manga goes, it's actually damn near like 1-to-1, which is good. The art's actually good. The story's just relatively like pathetic. The best part of the entire series is the beginning. That's the best part. It is the first dungeon. That's it.
That's my favorite.
The main character's just he doesn't have much of a personality. There's no side characters that matter.
That's my
All the
problem.
villains are just monsters with no thing. And he gets his power and becomes like S-class and like super powerful like super early on. So, like the power creep is just like it's like if Bam became a high ranker like
Season
at the
1?
beginning of season 2.
okay.
You're like okay, like so you're just like okay. It's kind of like a poor man's like One Punch Man, except like One Punch Man from the monsters to the heroes, everybody actually has goals, personality and shit, and that's just nowhere near the same in this story. It's just all around like trash. And the fights look pretty, but there's no like actual nuance or substance to it. Like it's kind of like just steamroll. It's one of those things like I don't like saying art carries, but the art just very heavily carries it.
Yeah.
I would say
I've heard of King's
as
Avatar,
far
by
as-
the way. Keep going. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. As far as TOG, I think it's just like I still think it's a lot. I think this isn't like the whole fan base switching on them or anything. I just think it's a tiny part. But maybe it's just been there since the beginning. But we just thought that it's like if Korean fans think that every person in America loves Marvel movies because of how popular they are, like superhero movies because of how popular they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like probably generally speaking, a lot of people like what's it called, superhero movies, but it's not always the case, and there's probably a sizable fan base that doesn't. But yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Okay. I have no shame X recommendations when I have 20 stories I'm kind of reading. That's crazy. There are tons of great stories out there, so once I get bored with the OG, I'll split for a while. I'll come back someday. Fair. Soul Leveling was one of the most popular. Okay. The only two that I knew for sure was Soul Leveling and Noblesse. I know was big down there for a while because I remember my friends who were into I almost said K-pop. That's crazy. K-dramas told me that they'd reference Noblesse in those or like a nerd would be reading like Noblesse or something, which is pretty cool. I obviously haven't seen it myself, so I'm just going by word of mouth. Most good manhwa are either romance, comedy, or gag, rather action ones. Really, actually, if you're talking about online, like line webtoon specifically, I see that a lot of the romance ones and stuff do well. But I don't know if Naver in Korea that the it's a little different. But you're right, things like Lore Olympus and whatnot are very popular. I like Love Ecstasy, like stuff like that were really good. So. There's so many Korean power fantasies. I personally tend to find that Korea has an obsession with a main character either being broken, just absolutely overpowered from the get-go, overpowered, but they don't know it yet, or the potential to become overpowered, or some combination of two or all those things. That's what I find personally speaking, but that's just anecdotal. I could be wrong overall. What's up, Glam? Do you think SLU would pull a GOH at some point and take away all the power Bam has? So to go to like the Metroid kind of like God of War route, where you kind of depower them at the beginning. Would you guys think that's a cheap method though? Like, I guess my question to you would be, I think it would work if you do it in a way that makes sense. But do you guys think that would kind of like cheapen a lot of the growth that he had already, because he just got a bunch of stuff without working for it and then just took it away from him? So it's like, do you care? Like, I don't know if I'd care at this point. What do you think though?
If like Kun and them got like power ups?
No, like Bam loses a bunch of the power he amassed to like even him out, so he gets depowered.
Oh, in most cases, I actually hate that usually in storytelling, because in Chinese light novels, especially, we have full-on arcs and half story points where like the main character literally loses everything and has to genuinely restart. So in most cases, I'm actually not a fan because I've just seen it so much. But this is one of the few instances of the time where like I genuinely wanted White to steal a lot of Bam's power. Or like even steal Bam's like ability to devour and then improve White's own ability to devour, which allowed White to get stronger and have more relevance. And Bam had to like kind of at least lose power or restart like learning more shit. I generally do think like Bam needs like a debuff or something.
Okay.
I think he needs to like be humbled in almost every aspect.
Or frozen in stasis or something where he can't get stronger and only people. Okay, all right. What do you think, Elizabeth?
Because he.
No, go. Just
that's
finish
it. That's all I have to say.
I definitely agree. Like as you said, as long as it's done like in a proper way, it's not like some random guy pulls up and just things him. I definitely think it's definitely think it's good, because Bam is just like the growth is too much. Like if you think about it, like he's like what, top 50 now. Like after, like he might be, like you could argue he's top 50 right now. Even before the Nest, he was probably like growth from just the Nest arc itself was well, like how many days, like in days, was the Nest, right? Like 1 or 2 days.
I actually don't know. I have no idea how long they've been there, bro.
Like it was probably like a couple days, right? Like in time passing, right? And he grew like this much.
Dressrosa was like a day, bro. I don't know. I have no idea to tell you.
Nah, but he grew this much, so I definitely think he needs to get powered down, or like powered down, though. Yeah, or just like make sure his ability to absorb isn't that strong anymore. Like he does not need to absorb everything and get powerful. Also, yeah, he needs his ass beat, like properly, like full on ass beating. But
No, yeah, Bam actually like. There's just certain points in stories where you're like, okay, the MC just needs his ass beat, like. And Bam is one of those characters at this point where, like, he needs to get the breaks and beats off of him, like, badly. Like, he's, like, looking, he's trying to get more powers, and it just doesn't matter. Like, he literally thinks he's gonna die. And, like, he's, like, afraid for, like, years. Like, something needs to happen to this man.
I think that's what made the Data Jihad stuff so interesting initially, because you're like, this isn't a regular who's a king of the tower. This is his dad, and Bam freaked out. Like, that's why the intrigue... Oh. That shit's so good, man. That Data Jihad shit's really good. SC was in his bag, bro. Soul leveling is mid. I like it though. Hey, there's nothing wrong. By the way, I'm not saying not to like soul leveling. If anyone's took it the wrong way,
I'm not either.
Sometimes that mid be hitting. I'm cool with that. I watch, read, and play a lot of mid, bro. I'm not gonna act like I know. I know. Like there's nothing I like that's mid. That mid be hitting. That's cool. I just don't think it's actually good. That's all I'm saying. It's soul leveling is fast food. Probably agree with that. Soul leveling is repetitive, so I dropped it. One thing I hate about solo is no one else can grow stronger. There were quite a bit of red herrings. Solo leveling. I knew solo leveling was finished when Diet Chimera Ant was that disappointing. That's crazy. That's around when I stopped. Actually, Power Fantasy is basically Korea's isekai. Oh shoot, damn. Okay. So what you're saying now is Koreans are power hungry? An interesting take. I take that 100%. I wanted White to take the souls. Anything to get Bam out of the story. I'm sick of him now. It wouldn't cheapen because there wasn't much growth in the first place. I actually agree with that. Maybe I'm wrong. I agree with you, Battle Popcorn. I agree with that actually. Even if it's cheap or running out of options, yo, we're desperate. That's crazy. I'll tell you what my preference is in a second. Speak Miles. I hated Wuxia depowering, but God of High School kind of do depower the MC pretty good in my opinion. I like the idea, like a new game plus. Okay. I almost read you added someone's a moderator to the channel. I forgot I gave you the sword, brother. It would happen in T-Bait. Oh wait, the beginning and after the end, which worked well because Arthur the MC had to get new power working hard with his life on the
I think
line.
the beginning after the end is good, but that's a whole different discussion.
God of High School just kept dragging for no reason. What about a limiter?
He already had that though, and that didn't really work. Remember, like, oh, you can't use the Black March, you can't use the Thorn, and he was still just bodying everybody.
I think
Get that red bracelet.
His growth rate can increase much more before he hits final level. The series will either change his pace or change his POV or end. I like seeing Bam struggle. He needs to be extremely humble. The Rise of Skywalker was dog ass, but I had a great time though. There you go. See, I won't lie. Like because so like Wonder Woman was it 1984? Awful,
yes,
awful film from top to bottom. Me, my dad, and my sister just roasted the movie the whole time. I had a great time. Had fun. It was a terrible movie, but we just made fun of it the whole time. Like it was so stupid. So I feel it. Irregulars are special in the tower, right? You can have Bam go through the arc. Can you have Bam go through an arc out of it? I don't know. Here's what I would probably prefer, personally speaking, other than depowering Bam. Even though you're right, we're out of options here. We're getting desperate. We got to do something, or it is what it is. I prefer the idea of him somehow getting like sealed or frozen in stasis, or put away somewhere where he can't increase his level of strength. So everyone, even if they don't surpass him, they up their level of overall combat capabilities and items and whatnot to get closer, if not even to his level. Then when they release him or find him or whatever, he just continues his growth spurt or whatever. I think the biggest problem is we need everyone else to kind of really be properly able to deal with rankers. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, going with that point, I was thinking that Machine was gonna like trick Bam and like kind of when they like do the Hodgin Sung thing,
he get dreadlocks.
goes into the crystal. She would like switch the Bam being sealed and then take Bam for herself. So Bam is sealed and she can do whatever she wants, like with his power or whatever, and she's just gone. I thought that would have been cool.
I don't know. I agree with you, but even when she sent him in there, she was like, I don't know, use your regular BS to get out of there. And I'm like, look, even she knows. She didn't even take that seriously. Like no one could get out of there. Like, you'll figure it out, guy. Like, so I didn't get my hopes up because I was hoping they would seal him in there somehow. I did actually. So I feel you on that. But as soon as she said that, I just said, never mind. Because even Machete knew. She's like, yo, just. I don't know. You'll figure it out, guy. So, yeah.
Streets need a wagon and arc. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I forgot she did TOG content. Well, now you're reminded. What's up? How you doing, Emerald Flygon? That's why Tower God being mediocre now it hurts because it was good. Yeah, that's really what it is. I expect a lot better from it. Dreadlocks. Simple solution, Bam gets sealed, everyone else becomes rankers. There you go. That would be so smart. Sadly, it's TOG. Man, I really need to start reading Kubera, huh? Absolutely. You do. How do you seal which can break seals? Fair enough. I don't know. It has to be like a spell, but just I don't know. Put them as suspended animation, stasis, somewhere where time doesn't move. I don't know, man. But and then again, it's just like, what stuff it came from breaking out in 2 seconds? But like, I don't know. Like here, can I tell you a dream I had? like a year ago, not a year ago. This is probably not a year, maybe not that long. Sorry. This is around Bam doing the what's that guy called who just does like the black guy who just does like that pose with his hands out when someone does something overly complicated but it does it in a very simple mode. So I always say when Bam had his dark change, he just did that pose, sending a bunch of like bangs and stuff at White. So we got the power up or whatever. And what happened in my head was Bam got sealed somewhere, and he broke out in like 10 minutes. But because time moves so differently there, by the time he moved out, 100 years had passed. And everybody had gotten stronger.
Cool.
So, I don't.
But is 100 years even enough?
I don't know, but that was all I had in my dream. That's all I dream. I dream.
This is like even going to the time
Cabby
thing,
Lame. Yes. Sorry, keep going.
None of this time thing makes sense. Barek purposely wanted to finish the tower fast and did it in 50 years. Now you can make an argument for Bam, even though he shouldn't be, because he's not specifically trying to rush through getting in 5 years to 40 floors. But the fact that everybody else is still keeping pace with Bam is still insane.
It's because Bam's hard carrying, basically. So it's
But
just
I mean,
like,
think about
thing
this.
is okay.
Shibisu they did their own thing separately. They've been like their own group like since floor 2. So it's just like, I mean, realistically, yeah. I mean, the way the story is going, in 100 years they could be rankers, but I mean, like, it wouldn't make sense based off like a knack is 3,000. Wait, no. A knack's like 20. Wait, and Dorsey's the 3,000 one, right?
I don't remember.
Because some of their ages already 1,000, so it's just kind of like, age is weird in Tower of God.
I mean, as long as I don't think they'd be exactly rankers, as long as they're ranker level, like if that makes sense. Like you don't have to be rankers, but they.
By the time they're gonna have that, we're gonna be in wars with high rankers and family has, where rankers not gonna be able to do nothing. It's just like.
I don't know, man.
If you're not top 100 by the end, like it don't matter. Like.
Probably.
Oh no! By the end, most of the main ones will probably be top 100 or at least. Like don't worry, Bam will solo everybody. No need to worry.
You think Bam will just start like there's a part of me that think that like they don't even need to get stronger. Bam will just have like KCM2 like Naruto like just high five, give him powers to be able to like keep up. I don't know.
If I see Bam like fighting 4 family heads at once, I'm about to lose my mind.
So
add in Kuhn's Firefish for that boost as well. Like you're right there. You're right.
There you go. He has the power to block all debuffs. Yeah, Cabby that lame. I like this comment. We need Michael Jahar to learn from Bam James. Certified Bam hater now. Uh-oh. Bam collects these powers and is just good at using them out of nowhere. It's frustrating to see ever since the train. Yeah, it is what it is. I still stand by the items being used as a buff. That's not a bad idea. People like Quant taking some time to reach floor 20, then meeting Bam, getting the Quatero. There you go. Cultural Blitz. Really interested seeing what will happen. It might get worse or it might get better. True. You never know. If LaFave can cheat away to top 300 with magic bullets and so can the crew, shoot. There you go. Fair enough. And Dorsey was the only one she started to climb. I read the last 2 chapters. Keep in mind that I'm just talking like officials today. I'm not going into any fast pass or anything other stuff. I don't know if they even talk about it here. I probably should have checked and skimmed for that, but it is.
I think they do
at some point.
But yeah. Like yeah.
Dang. Well, it is what it is. Man, Michael Jard, yeah, because my friend Joey used to call Bam LaBam James. I don't get the comments criticizing Korean readers. They're basically wait. I don't know if I can see the sub is far more possible the story overall. Though there's a faction of vocally unhappy fans and their complaints seem to be along the same lines. I think it's the vocal fans who dislike all the power-ups and less desirable parts of Season 3 are just tired of arguing with people who accept whatever power-ups Bam gets just because he's in a regular who will fight a 10 family's head. Jihad Direct was powerful and Bam needs to be like them, so Season 3 is perfect for most hype. Yeah, I think that's probably the good thing. Where like, you don't have sometimes it's not about like, yo, you know what? I agree with you. I agree. It's more like you're just gonna act like what I'm saying is fucking insane. Like I'm just crazy, and everything SIU is doing is absolutely perfect. Your cape is flowing in the wind. That's very frustrating. I get that. I feel them on that. I truly do. Like, come on now. I am surprised as well. Even if the Koreans are fed with Bam, why the hell SIU continues putting him in the spotlight? At this point, he doesn't know what to do. What exactly is bewildering in the character and one of which is
wait, no, wait. The first reply to that is a spoiler. Oh, so if you don't want to look at that, you can go to the one where it says OP, like smooth.
I think I did it. Where it says great general sentiment.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
General sentiment.
I don't even know what my OBS isn't. Okay. General sentiment is that he's wishy-washy. His philosophy progresses, regresses. It's contradictory to what he might have proclaimed a few chapters before. He's overwhelmingly indecisive to the detriment of the narrative. He's an active hindrance to his allies due to his own whims. Due to his on-the-whim fancies and inability to have a hard stance that 500 chapters in the viewer could not definitively say what Bam is about at any given time. There's also a sentiment that despite him seemingly progressing so much of him feels no different from how he was at the start of the series. They also think he is the most emotionally immature character by miles. I don't disagree with any of that.
They were spitting.
I think the frustrating part I see with Bam sometimes is like he'll have this moment where he's like, yeah, you know what? I am a monster. I have to accept like all the powers in me and blah blah and yada yada. I'm like, great, cool. Oh wow, true self mode against Dad Jihad. And he did that shit like 5 times again since then. Like what? The analogy I always say that he has the fucking he put the table together. He's hammered the nail in, but he's still hammering. The table is set, bro. What are you doing? Oh yeah, Bam, you have the right to seek strongness. Like, bro, we get it. He's a good kid. He's not gonna get corrupt by power. Like, we understand. Can we move on? No, we can't.
Uno was lying there, by the way. He's not.
Man, shout out, Bam. True self mode 2, Super Saiyan, True self mode.
Super self mode 2 ascended. Like, what are we doing here? ultra true self mode, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Bam has been very introspective in the same breath. He regresses a lot. Yep. Today Bam is wow. Yep. We haven't had Jin Sung's red drop in ages. Yep. Thoughts on Bam becoming the villain of the series? It's easy to think Jihad is evil booty cheeks when you're not in his shoes. Even you go back up a little bit, my bad.
Jihad did nothing wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
I don't know if I would say all that, but like,
yeah, Shibisu's team was always floors ahead of Bam. He even stated that Bam was climbing slow at the name hunt. As a LeBron fan, I'm offended by putting him the love before Bam's name. The effect of the Roz MDR perspective. Match of the century is LeBam James versus Michael Jihad. It is. It's hitting. I gotta mention my favorite example, John in the Ordinary. Yeah. That was. Again, I also want to give Uru Chan credit in the sense that I'm happy the character didn't just have like one flashback and go, I was wrong. Oh, 180 switch out of nowhere. But it's like, please remember your fan base has to read this shit every week and we are suffering. We're tired. We get it. Hierarchy bad. John angry. People bad to him. Like, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I feel that. SNU stop giving a F what the fans want is write his story. Characters need. Oh my God, this is the long ass one. I'm not reading that. This is one where we got to talk about Game of Thrones and all this thing, right? Let me just skim it. I'm gonna go super fast mode. With fast mode, Harry Potter or Dumbledore.
You good, bro.
There's like 3 big ass
Bro,
comments.
you're good. Just skip it. Ain't nobody trying to read all that.
Is there anything else that's interesting here, so I can just go to the actual thingy, the other part? Let me see. For me, TOG for me is play a long game series. Judging it while it's incomplete just seems wrong. I understand the sentiment people have. No, it's just the you can't critique an ongoing series argument.
Yeah.
And now I gotta cook you. Now you gotta get cooked. I don't even know how to say this name, but you gotta get cooked from 8 days ago. This is easily one of the most frustrating arguments that people make up, where it's like, you can't judge the series because it's not done yet. So you can praise the series and speak positively about it when it's not done, but you can't critique it. How does that make sense? Explain. Obviously, you can't answer me. This person's not watching, but that is stupid. I believe that you can criticize a series and be like, I don't like this thing, and that's saying 3 chapters. It proves that the thing you didn't like 3 chapters ago was wrong. When you have new information, watch this. You might not know this. You're allowed to change your stance. We call it learning. Very simple. That's all it is. If I said this player is terrible, he's shooting 2 for 40 every week, and then in the playoffs, and then for the next 3 seasons proves me wrong. I'm like, yo, I was wrong about that person. They went to the gym, they worked hard and changed. I amend my statement, original statement, because now I'm working with new data sets and new information. You're allowed to adjust. You can critique something ongoing. You can critique some. Or you can praise something ongoing, and I hate that argument that it's ongoing. You can't. It's not done yet. Yo, shut up, man. Because sometimes too, things get retroactively better or worse depending on later chapters too. So I'm just not trying to hear that. So yeah. Yeah. See what you guys are saying. Bam been drawing the same small last line for 10 years. Oh my goodness. Ja Goat. Uber was pissing me off when she kept making him the villain and the Royals were getting off scot-free. Were they getting off scot-free?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, they were getting their ass beat, but like.
But no one was mad at them?
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like none of them were like. Oh, I mean, John was kind. I don't know. It was just weird.
I don't know. I guess I'm on the opinion with an ordinary that everyone was in the wrong. Like everyone trying to act higher, holier than you're all in the wrong. No one was perfect. Even what's his name, Remy? Remy had the problem of being ignorant, like too like goody two shoes ignorant.
And Arlo were the only two that really were like very retroactive with their thinking and stuff. But like even like it's kind of like Blake. You were like no one's killed John like 3 times at the beginning of the series. You never said anything like I don't know. It's just weird.
Okay, fair enough. If Vita Arlene or anything like Bam, the Jihad was trying to save them all. The recent chapters have been fire and ordinary. I have not been catch. I'm not caught up. I will admit that. Sometimes I just ignore the really long comments. So do I. Yo, after a long day of work and I have to go through some comments and I'm like, you're not saying nothing in this first paragraph, you might just get a like and a heart. I'm not gonna lie. I do that sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I'm like, bro, and the worst too when I have to sometimes I open up a long ass DM like, fam, please, y'all be killing me with these Tagashi text walls, bro. What is Saitama saying? Say it in 6 words or less. I like that concise talk, but sometimes I do appreciate when you guys share a like elongated thought, as long as it makes sense. That's all. That's all I ask. I forgot another job today too. Gonna read that later. Game of Thrones. I'm watching that right now. I gotta say, Tyrion is carrying the story. I like Tyrion. You can't criticize One Piece until it's done. XD. Yeah, I never like that either. What's up, Omar? I don't know if you answered this, but do you think later on Ban's personality will change, or do you think he's gonna give into his powers and become his usual self again or not? Wait, Bam hasn't ever really changed, and I doubt he will. And I don't necessarily have a problem with Bam's personality like being what it is, because I'm cool with static characters. It's just that like SIU seems to be trying to teach him the same lesson over and over in a weird, like someone said earlier. Like he progresses, he regresses, and it's like, what are you doing with him? Like I don't need characters to go through like traditional character development. Character arcs are cool enough for me for the most part, but I don't know. I think at this point I'm just completely disinterested in Bam from top to bottom. I don't know if there's anything he could really do to get me back on Team Bam. I think maybe he could do enough that he's palatable. What do you think, Miles?
As a resident previous Bam lover, I just need struggle. That's all I need. I think when the struggle comes back, Bam will be a lot more enjoyable. Because I think that's where he shines. I think like the true effortful like learning like perspective of Bam, I think is the good part about him, and we just haven't had that like since Jahard, honestly, since he fought Jahard.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't criticize someone until they're dead. Yeah, don't criticize my life until I rip, bro. you can't critique me until I rip, bro. Easy, barely an inconvenience. If you criticize an ongoing series, it might drop in popularity and get axed. So, don't be mid. Not yet on the fast pass. I mean, he's talking to me. You'd be shocked if people wouldn't understand that something that basic. Yeah, I don't get it. Wow, I'm mind blown. Thanks, Naya. I didn't know I can change my opinion. Wow, so happy I can help, man. Change your stand on Asian comic. On Asian comic after getting new info. Naya, do you have no shame? I'm just a black man. What do you want from me? Yeah, some people being able to change their stance, change their mind. I do think some people flip flop are too fickle. I don't like fickle people, by the way, just to say that. But again, I can like, I don't know. I don't like this chapter. Next chapter, there's something like I was wrong. But this chapter, the last chapter is fine. I'm sorry. That's all it really is. Arlo was right. I don't give a fuck what he did before. Thank you. Arlo's the only one there making sense to me. That's all I'm saying. You know, Doctor Darren's my spirit animal, but you know, I know people be hating Aslo. What are they calling him? He's a goat. They're literally bullying people and act like they did nothing wrong. They did do better and never apologized. They just thought John was crazy. John is crazy though. All right, Zodiac. At least John only beat up people that could fight back.
Rightfully crazy though.
Huh?
That's fair.
Huh.
That is fair. They could fight. I mean, I don't know, like the way he was beating their asses because Classified is fighting back. But like, I hear you.
I don't know. I'm in the minority where I'm like, I don't think people like John is justice. I'm like, what? Listen, I don't know. I just hold them all to the same standard. You're all batshit, and you all are a part of the hierarchy problem issue. Blah blah. Yeah. So I just keep the same energy personally. But I am an Arlo fan. I admit that. Arlo, Dr. Darren, and Arlo are my favorite characters in Unordinary. Bam.
It's one of those things. But it's like, why are you beating someone's ass like for like 4 weeks straight? Like, you can chill out, bro. Like, the points have gone across.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, this person said I'm talking about myself. It feels wrong for me. That means you have a code, and that is good. No, it's not. You're a coward, sir, ma'am, them. I agree. There have been times where people complain about the plot holes in Lay's chapters that get resolved. Where? I want an example. See, did someone ask for an example? No, Sloppy Joe, you should ask for an example, bro. That's when you ask for an example. That's exactly what you say. Give me an example. And watch them malfunction. Where? I'm sure it's happened though. But my point is, you have to give me some examples. But it's true that happens sometimes. But again, you can be like, this is a bad thing. In a couple of chapters, it proves you wrong, and all you have to do is have enough, like, be humble enough to be like, hey, I was wrong, or maybe I jumped the gun. I tell you guys I'm wrong all the time. As a matter of fact, half the time I'm wrong, I make a video telling you that I was wrong about Yas Ratchet. He's that guy. My fault. Or the Liboric stuff. Like, let me not make the same mistakes. So I gave Liboric his credit before I said I'm Team Calivan. It's just that some people have too much ego and pride to be like, you know what? I was incorrect. And I'll be the first person to tell you, bro, I'm just on here talking about series that I like and whatnot. Do I think I'm very qualified because of my education and stuff? Because I did like journalism, English, storytelling, blah blah. Sure, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong more often than I'm right. So I don't know, but I think some people are too sensitive. Like, oh damn it, if I don't double down, they'll think like I don't get that. So it's mad annoying, but. You gonna get on next time? More holes in a bowl of Cheerios? All right, let me see if there's anything else here. I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't want to think it'd be spoiled. So you mentioned like blog post each chapter. This used to be canon, but it became something to change. The Baylor stuff got changed and stuff. But all right, I'm going to open up this section real quick. Might have to make this a bit smaller because this is actually the wiki. What's it called again? Something verse.
Yeah. Namu wiki.
Namu wiki. All right. So
there's no word.
Yeah. So here you can see the 25th night criticism, which is Bam or Chestnut, whatever. Excuse me, I'll make my camera smaller. My bad. It's way too big for this part. Okay. So here we have the actual. We have the actual thing here where like I have to use Google Translate, by the way. So it was in Korean and I got Google Translate. So obviously it's not going to be great English and stuff. But you can see here a bunch of the things that they were talking about. I don't know if it goes into certain territories, so I'm not going to go through all of it. But was there anything here that you kind of looked over, Lizard at all? I know Vince's not here, but I know you guys were saying some things. You showed me the what was the part you told me to go to? The Bam criticism or something or. Oh, how things get better, all bad. Right?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, yeah, room for improvements 2.23. I think 2.24 is also a great one, and 2.26, 2.27. No, yeah. 2.29 false power balances and setting collapse, which is kind of, Yeah. Oh, by the way, there might be a little bit of spoilers. I can tell you when they come up, but they're not like.
Yeah. Okay. case. Let me know. So look, for room for improvement, it says in conclusion, and remember this is badly translated because it's a Google Translate. There's no room for improvement until now, with only 3 parts being serialized for more than 100 episodes, and it's only getting worse and worse. And it is just hypocrisy and pretense that pretends to be just and reflects in every episode. A disgusting hypocrite whose self-defenses because he is growing mentally is neither a hero who will save the tower nor a demon king who will eat up the power of the tower in the current residents of the night. Don't look away. This is the bargain I pulled to protest against rescue massacre, knowing that many people will die. To those people, I must be worse than the devil. That's right. So at least let's not tremble at the hypocrisy of presumptuously trying to save everybody like Mr. Dang Dang's time. In the same way, I will walk out making eye contact. Oh, is this when you're looking at all the bodies? This one looking at all the bodies during the okay. I remember this part. Yeah. I will say this for what I skimmed through. I do think there's certain things where like, yo, I'm on the ride, and then they go too far to go. Oh, I'm gonna hop off here. Like, this is my stop. Then like now you're going to a place. Anakin, you're going to a path I just can't follow type of beat. But a lot of the stuff they say here, I understand. Like, it's frustrating to some degree. You know, it is what it is. Caliban holds himself. No, Caliban's the GOAT, man. What's going on? What's going on here? Caliban slander? I don't like this. Do you think there would be someone who isn't a 10 great family leader and is the same age as like Bam who can humble him or not? No, not anymore. At one point I was hoping for that, but I think we've gone past that. I think the biggest indicator is, do you guys remember who the first person to call Bam like truly weak and inept was? It was fucking Caliban, bro. That's who it took to tell you you're weak? You're not weak, bro. That's the equivalent of like, I think I'm nice at basketball or something. I'm gonna come up and like, I don't even care if it's not like an all like I don't go too far, but like Jason Tatum tells me I'm not good because I can't beat him. It's Jason fucking Tatum. I'm nice. What are we talking about? I'm not trying to hear that. So yeah. Do you I don't let off the hook, but keep a spade a spade. All right, that's fair. See, I find a lot of John fans just put their cape on and he does no wrong. As long as you can admit that he's not perfect, I'm cool with that. That's all I ever asked for. They act like he just does no wrong, and that's been my issue. But yeah, John taking conscious people, that's not normal. There's gonna be someone who can humble Bam like smart F. I hope so. I don't know. I feel like Rachel's probably the only person weaker than him who can get the upper hand on Bam because of some mental, like, you know, stuff she has over him and whatnot. So I'll take the positive route 99 out of 10, 100 times. I respect it. Mr. Brightside all day. My boy Callum keeps getting hold somewhat. I wanted him to fold that purple hair. Yeah, I did too. That was way too much text for me. I think I already heard every point worth from Naya and a few others. That's a lot of hypocrisy, Callum. Spread him. Hey, yo. I actually like Bam. Having hypocrisy is a flaw. I just wish it was actually called out. Yeah, that's really like being a hypocrite isn't a problem. It's like, what are you going to do with it? So, anyway, you can beat Jason Payton, to be honest. Oh, there you go. What's up, I love Jesus. But let me see. What was the other part you said that was interesting? I don't want to go through. I might go through this myself. I make a little separate video for this. Probably favorite this actually, because you know me, I'll forget. And go through this myself and talk about certain things because I don't want to end up going into anything crazy. But Violet, I think they mean Violet, right?
Yeah, Violet.
Okay, it's like, ooh, Violet. But okay, let me just for 1 second. I'm just going to go on this screen. I want to pull up my Twitter real quick from when I first initially posted this. Just to see, I want the part. I want Haku's comment because I really like Haku's comment. Where did I post this? Where's the force at? There. What's in the force? I think so. Oh, I found Miles. There we go. Boom, got it. Okay. And we are bike. So, right, yeah. So I said we're gonna talk about this. Let me retweet this actually. Boom. And let me find Haku's comment. Actually, we can read everything here. People are finally waking up. 2G has problems, and you cannot just sit there and defend it. If people have been hating on 9 and the boys for pointing out those for years. Yes, we all love the series, but come on, you can only defend these things for so long. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, look it is. Look who it is again. I have given this a lot of thought, but I'm done thinking now. But because of the breadth of my conclusion, I won't say it. Some good points all around though. Took people a few years, but hey, we're here. Oh, they're definitely spinning when it comes to season 3. I don't know about the Hell Train arc though, so I gotta see. I think that's why I want to like actually go through this properly. But I want to maybe I'll go through it on a proper like raw stream, so I don't have to hold myself back. I will say Milios. I will say the Korean reader base has it lost its identity correct. Everything else I disagree with. Okay, Lazaro says Korean fan base is what some people think Naya is. LMAO. They seriously complain about everything and the dumbest shit. They literally complain about Bam not being on screen enough and shit. It's mostly a broken clock sort of thing when they are right. Okay, that's fair. I actually am like this divorced from that side of the community, so I don't know any better. So I'm not gonna act like I don't. Michael Walsh, I generally agree with it. Bit strange that the series feels somehow way too fast-paced due to power escalation and Bam speedrunning, as well as too slow-paced because of half of the nest being stuff you could possibly drastically shorten. That said, I want no name hunts slander. I like Name Hunt Station, one of my favorite arcs, so I'll never slander it like that. Jamarcus Cole says, as someone who, J. Cole, my fault. As someone who has issues with the series ever since the last station, this conversation needs to be had. I appreciate what SEO has done, but man, he needs to get his head back on track. So there we go. Final Hawk was coming. Here we go. I think Tower of God is great now compared to the last station, the beginning of season 3, but a huge problem with something I mentioned a lot. Current Tower of God is not the same series as early Tower of God at all. If people fell in love with TOG for the creative games and the awesome concept of climbing the tower, which is what season 1 and early season 2 were built on, they're going to be massively disappointed that the series has not been about that in a long time and probably never will be again. And Joe said this is interesting, Dr. Bonehead. So I'm going to switch screens for a second here, but what do you guys think about that? Like that's like our main issue, I'd probably argue, right?
Yeah, that's my big. That's literally why I got into it.
Yeah, it's.
I like my test.
It's because it presented itself as a series that wouldn't be just about like, oh, I'm big, strong, bigger blast than you, and it's like, yo, we had a test that had nothing to do with any of that. As early as well, you guys know. I don't know if you guys, for anyone who's new here who's never heard me say this before, I think every series has the moment where it hooks you, where it's like, you may have been enjoying it, but there's a point where like, oh, this just happened? Yeah. Let me strap my seatbelt and I'm not getting off this ride. For me, it was Han Sung-yu's examination when Shibisu completely figured out the test using this. Just his mind. Aguero was overthinking it, blah, 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 and Rack just kicked the door open and went through, and he learned that all you have to do is pick any door in 5 minutes, which is crazy. But that had nothing to do with ability, power, whatever. Just kind of like the willingness to make a decisive decision. So I'm like, okay, this will not be just about power. This is just about power. That's what the series became about. So it's just disheartening when you think about it that way. Because even the way that Aguero early on was able to kind of play around with Quans with the pulley lever again, I can't remember what it's called exactly. I'm sorry, what you're talking about though, with Ho and everything.
Yes.
Like that was like incredible stuff there. And Aguero had his moments, because I'm not gonna act like he hasn't had moments of like being pretty smart. I actually think I hate the sweet fish. I hate it. But the one instance of him using it I like is when he buffs that one ranker. So they get used to like the power buff, and it's like then he takes it away and like, wait, shit, what happened? And then he kind of gets rocked by the other guy. I think Mael, whatever his name was, or I can't remember the guy who threw the spear. I can't remember his name. That Houndborn. And then the way that Shibisu, I think, and Aguero work together to help Doom. Did they use Lefauve's bullet against him? I can't remember what they used against him. But remember for the Windbird family, Lopabia, the Windbird Corps. They use it to there's still moments like that for them, but Generally speaking, it's just a little bit frustrating because you're like, this is just not the same series that we necessarily really like fell in love with. And if you guys have ever heard me complain about the Tower of God anime, that's my biggest issue. It feels like a very run of the mill shonen anime. It doesn't capture any of the special, unique ambience that I got when I initially started reading Tower of God. The mystery, the feel, the me being just as lost as Bam because I have no idea what's going on. I'm just in this new tower kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all agree. I think Kuhn's character shines when he's not around Bam.
Yeah. It's kind of
and that's why
similar to Harley Quinn. Like I think Harley Quinn is much more interesting when she's not around the Joker. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, and like beginning of season 2 when we get those great moments where we flash back to Ibisu and his team, where you get like a lot of the old guys and like some of like his new people, and then Kun, where it's like Kun is getting this all-star team like put together, and it's like the whole thing of him trying to get Dan, and then him paying everybody in the room, and then him getting him in the corner, and all this because Dan's special thing was just speed.
Yeah.
And it's like I think it's becoming more rare that like certain physical abilities can kind of be trained separately, where it's like, oh, this person when he gets stronger, it's his speed, his defense, his attack just uniformly gets better. So like it's rather than like this guy's super strong but he's slow. But like seeing Dan and its speed, it's like, oh, this is interesting because in the world that SAU was set up, this could be important depending on the game. And we don't see the one test they do, but like it's like a few pages, but it's like Dan just literally rushes in between. I think it's like a capture the flag thing, and he goes underground and he just grabs the shit and comes back. And it's like, oh, just because he's fast, it's just simple things like that. And that was only like a preview of like a test we got, but that I think does more for what Tower of God was presented to be in the entirety.
Yeah. Well said, actually. Honestly, I agree with that. I want Rockstars to go away. I'm tired of Chibi Rack. I just want Rack to matter, to be honest. I feel that.
Cracking over here.
Who just hopped in? Oh, shoot.
Popping over here.
What's going on? Yo, what's happening? How you doing, brother?
Yo, I'm chilling. Are you streaming right now?
Yeah. We're talking.
Oh,
I was just so I don't know if you've seen, but Korea's been down on TOG, so I was going through like how Korea was going in on BAM and going in on Tower of God and how they weren't feeling it. So
that's crazy. So is it gonna get an axe ending or is he gonna?
I don't know about
continue?
all that because I still think it makes a lot of money and stuff like that. And there's still like as much as some people criticize it, there's like people who have the SIU cape on at all times. But it was interesting just to see that like the I guess the native speaking community are like, bro, what's going on with my series? So vindication.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. How you been though?
Nothing, bro. Just chilling, getting ready for my boy's wedding.
Okay.
Fucking the shit starts tomorrow, bro.
Oh.
4-day wedding thing.
Oh, okay. This guy was going to weddings. This guy's was going to weddings. I need to start going to more weddings. I was going to funerals, man. I'm tired of this shit.
Bro, I went to a funeral the other day too for my girl's grandma. It wasn't it still?
My condolences.
Yeah, man. Thanks. What was it? I'm gonna come check you. After the wedding shenanigans still. So I'll probably come check you. Let me see right now. I'll probably come on the 9th or the 10th. Right. If I have a ball game, because I'm in a league, if I have a ball game on the 10th, I'll come on the 9th.
I'll come to the game. Just tell me where it is.
It's going to be deep, but it might be deep. Okay, but all right, cool.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Just let me know.
All right, no.
I'll holler at you.
Yeah.
It's like my IRL friend, like lives like 20 minutes from me. Not even, so.
Oh.
Yeah. True Chibi Records with tragedy and Mr. Big Man. Would you mess with Bam more if he later on gets a small god complex, not to the master give him lead? I would personally, like, if you really want to make this like Bam stays good when he amasses power, I think you need a moment where he starts to cave in a little bit. Even if he doesn't fall all the way in, I think you need a moment of him getting a little power hungry or getting addicted to it or letting it change him, and maybe someone sets him straight. I think that would make his internal conflict a little more compelling, personally speaking. The series have been dropping and turtling folly for a long time, to be honest. During Bam's training, I would love to see a few dozen chapters of him catching up with all the other characters. Yeah, it'd be nice. Haku was right. I don't think it's bad to be different. Just the difference has to be enjoyable and as much more than it was. Yeah, I agree with that. The same thing happened with GOH the Gamer and Hardcore Leveling Warrior. That's fair. It's a goddamn shame what happened when God of High School. Well, that's not the one. I'm not I dropped God of High School pretty early. Like I heard it was like a huge reset and stuff. I don't want to spoil anybody, but like for me, it was. Sorry, what was that second? It's the second tournament. It had a guy with the backwards cap, and he had like the 3 treasures of Japan's regalia as his ability, and it was this Jin Mori clone. And like a little after that, and like the closer the clone was to Jin Mori, I believe, the stronger it was, or the further away it was weaker, and it was having like an identity crisis, and I just lost interest. And I just stopped caring.
Mori Huey, that's my guy. Great character.
The part of God of High School I like the most is the beginning with like that other Taekwondo guy. I like that. That's my favorite part. But pretty much the last thing I really like is there was the green hair dude who had the ability. I can't remember what they're called, like Churioks or something, like the abilities in that world. He could take them. And I think he took Park Pyo 2 with the key, with the QB or something. I think he took his ability and stuff. Like that's like the last section I really, really enjoyed. I kept going for a bit and I just stopped caring at one point, personally speaking. I
personally still love the series a lot.
That's fine.
I think this is what I will say. One, I think people are often misconceived. God of High School has never lied about what it is.
I agree with that.
Gods and their powers and everything have like the very first scene in God of High School is Mu Bong destroying an island with his hand. Mm-hmm. That's the first scene. Like, in the title's God of High School. This was set up from jump. Mori Jin's identity was there from the beginning. There are good hints of like what he really is in the initial tournament. So for me, everything's fine. I think the scaling's fine for the most part. Mori Jin is actually taken out of the story quite a bit, which you can either enjoy or dislike. I enjoy it. Mori Huey I think is good because like I don't think I've ever seen like a clone be so distinctly different from like its originator and have such a personality. And of course, you know me, I think God of High School has one of the best action flowing sequences like with Goshu.
Goshu was amazing.
And yeah. And the current
Dumpling boy,
villain, I think, my boy got a little gut, but he was going crazy. And I think the overall main villain of God of High School, I think he's phenomenally done, and I think his parallels are great. I have high praises. Now, I will say God of High School. Jesus, they both have God in their name. God of High School does have its pacing issues.
Okay, go ahead.
I definitely think it has its pacing issues, and there's certain points where it's kind of like, okay, we could probably have been done by now, but that's to me, that's every single fucking like webtoon I read, so I just stopped kind of caring.
Yeah, a lot of them tend to lose. Still one of my favorites. A lot of those they lose, especially the ones with a really big slice of life component or element. They have no direction for like a solid like year plus for at some point.
Yeah.
Even the ones that I really love, like I love Girls of the Wild. I really do. I had a great time. That series was aimless for like on like 160 chapters. They were just going to the beach and doing a bunch of shit. I was just saying, like, up until them like trying to get stronger, the bully, blah blah blah. But like, it is what it is. So I feel you on that. I don't like fight against reality sometimes. So it is what it is. What was I saying? The TOG anime is really interesting. I keep hearing so much praise from it from people who never read the original material. I'm glad to hear it, but it's kind of odd, you know. I feel that. Couldn't really the 80 to Bam's LeBron. We need more creative powers, to be honest, like curse powers, JJK, Nan ability, and Hunter stands, and JoJo. JoJo stands go crazy. The reason fights are so good in those because they have so much different and creative abilities. Meanwhile, Tower, yes, I call Tower God Tower of Beams a lot. You have different color beams, fire beam, ice beam, and stuff like that. But I agree. That's why I really liked when Charlie came with white noise and stole someone's senses. Jordan had this ability that locked onto you, like a one-shot, one kill. You had that like furry beast arm, ceiling ability. Like anytime I see someone has a power that's not just like destructive capabilities, it moves me. That's why Yama's like, I call it a passive ability. It's the fear mongering thing where it's like if you're scared of him, you just can't hurt him. I love shit like that. That really to me makes series a lot more interesting. But I do think you have to have a better handle of how to like write in and around those things. So if you're not too good at that, I understand you keeping your abilities very simple. Something like Dragon Ball. That doesn't make Dragon Ball bad because it's simple. Dragon Ball is punch hard, punch fast, ki blast for the most part. But Tower of God, Shinsu was limitless, and Shinsu is everything and creates everything and is like so it's like to me it's like he didn't box himself in. So I'm like, okay, like Shinsu's about to be so creative, and like for a long time to me it wasn't. That's why I definitely really appreciate the Hidden Floor where they talk about I like saying it the way Godai said it way back in the day. I know Shinsu quality, but I like calling it Shinsu property conversion. Like I thought that shit was really cool when you're learning about your Shinsu shape and quality. I was very into that. I liked it because I thought it was time for stuff like that. So many new characters I don't give a shit about. Honestly, might as well replace Kun and Rock with Hansung and Cha. I mean, I feel it wasn't it still. Yeah, feels were not fun. I was super page GD Crouch but it's a lot of words with little meaning. I'm kind of with you on that, Barry. I really don't have smoke with JJK. I know I make fun of it. I call it Jigaboo Kaisen, Jujuju Badabu Dudu Bada Dudu, but like it's like very whatever to me. But I'm not as big on like the abilities as some other people are. I think it's like mad great. Like it's alright, man. It's pretty run of the mill to me personally speaking. But if you like JJK, good for you. I'm not mad at that.
I think JJK is just really fun.
Okay.
No, they did disrespect a lot of my characters I like by killing a lot of people off. But
that's why I'm out. Man, being a regular mindset could change things. True. Oh yeah. Mori, always talk about the Mori Huey guy. If Taekwondo, Taekwondo are my favorite. That was my. No, I want you to. I don't know. I'm not strong enough for that, man. Believe in myself. All right, fine. He said believe in myself. Very, very well. Dropped it after Ragnarok. Lost my will and energy. Felt like a bunch of nothing was happening. Girls with a Vibe was peak, man. Best girl in the window. It was best girl for you. I like Moon Young was my favorite. Moon Young and not there was the girl with in the all black with the blonde hair, not Queen. She used to be one of the like combatants, and like she came back as like an alumni. And one of the she's bad, bro. I used to be when I first started it, I was a Dal stan. The cat ears were moving me. I think you could say to me, I was a stan, yo. Well, like nah. But then I matured, like, nah, Moon Young is raw. It's raw. Upcoming arc is about to happen. It's going to be full of tests. Okay, we'll see. I hope so. You weren't lying about the crazy OP theories. I just saw a video saying Ben Beckman is Robin's father. Oh, my Lord.
What if he is, though?
Oh, my God. What's going on? Liborg's water vapor was cool as well. Actually, it really was. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. That was actually dope. Now, it powered up Calivan, which is interesting. I think we need to talk about that and like revisit it. Is that a thing? Like if I'm a fire user and a Vancast like, flame orb, I'm like plus 85 HP. Like you just healed me, like buffed me. Like how does that work? So I hear you though. That was dope. One Piece theory people should talk about a Shanks crew being people up. That's crazy. JoJo has the best abilities. I actually kind of agree with that in a lot of ways, especially for like Shonen Jump specifically. We could talk about that though. What's that Buggy's Awakening and how to split into items?
JoJo abilities be pissing me off sometimes though.
There's some of them I'm like Araki. What? But like there's the one Infamous one in part 6 in Stone Ocean where I'm like Araki. Even I'm like, come on, dog. But go ahead.
Yeah, there's a few at Stone Ocean, but I think my biggest one that I have the biggest issues with is 100% like BIG. Oh my gosh, I hate that stand.
I've always found that one's funny because I'm like, how did he know? You have to die for it to work. How could you possibly know your ability?
That's what I'm saying.
You can't train this. You can't practice. How do you know you have a stand, my nigga? Like what? No, I feel that one. That one was funny as hell though. It's funny though. It's like a JoJo thing.
Like, there was There's like nothing you could do. Like, you have to drop that bitch in the ocean. That's so like.
No, that one was funny. I definitely feel you on that. I remember scratching my head like, huh? Oh man. Robin is Ben Beckman's father. Now we're really thinking intelligently. now we're doing what we gotta do. I can't take JoJo seriously. I don't think JoJo's for everybody. I think it's an acquired taste, but it's quite literally like right up my alley. I fucking love JoJo. Like it's like Araki is my favorite mangaka. If you guys don't know that. I like the Caliban chain reaction thing more. If the Shinsu types had been more interactive early in the series, you kind of think was it like jarring for you, like it was for me. Like we never had an instance of that, so I'm kind of here. I'm kind of there with you. And if it wasn't a mistake, let me not say that. JoJo abilities be like, I shit your hand disappear. Yo, what? What's going on? Oh shoot, I need a J Cole stand. Hey, yo, I'll be sick. Friday Night Lights or like, I don't know, Born a Sinner. I don't know, something wrong like that. Do you think Zoro should trade Sandai for Nidai? I don't think I care. Wait, is Sandai the one? Is Sandai the one that he got from Kuina or whatever? Is that one? What's the one?
Sandai
Wano Ichimo?
Kitetsu, but yeah, Wado Ichimonji is what he got.
Oh, then I don't care. Yeah, the only one he needs to keep is the one that he got from like Kuina. Crocodiles riled up to Luffy. Facts. Go ahead.
Wait, which one's Nidai?
I'll take care of Kater.
That's
Kitetsu blades. I forget which one's which.
Yeah.
I think he had Sandai.
Yeah, he has Sandai, and I think Nidai was the one that Luffy took from
Yes.
Well, now he knows Odin's dad, but yeah.
Yeah.
So. But all right. Yeah. Do you have any final comments on Tower God thingamajig?
Absolutely.
Again. Yeah, go ahead. If you're gonna say something.
No, I was just saying, hey man, everybody's coming around to our ways.
Yeah, I just want to have all I want to do is have an honest discussion about it. And there's still going to be a plethora of abilities and things that I like and love and care about. And I still want to see and whatnot, but it's just not perfect, and that's okay. And it's not as great as it once was, but this was good. I like this. This was dope. I'm gonna leave it at that for there. Now we can just talk freely for a bit. Well, whatever. Yes, I have read Dorohedoro. I always say that. I always struggle to say that. Lizard's a big fan.
Dorohedoro's. That's my ish.
Yeah, that's it. I just read it. I like it, but it's not like one of my favorites or anything.
I think the second half is a lot to be desired, but I think the first half is like one of the best like mystery plots like I've seen like in anime or manga, I should say.
Yeah,
that first half is insane.
Yeah,
I like the whole thing. It's just the comedy, especially like the comedy is up my alley. It's not, it's just like up my thing. It's just I love the whole. I don't know how to put the comedy.
I just like the strongest dude just controlled mushrooms. Like that's raw. Like this dude just turned people to mushrooms and he's the best. I'm like, all right.
That's an interesting question. SIU calls me for my help with the Shinsu power system. What is my suggestion? First thing we're going to start doing is we're going to throw in more abilities. That's for sure. Whether that's puppeteering, like magnetism, whatever the case may be, we're gonna expand beyond just beams or like really really hard punch stuff like that. We're gonna go beyond that. I really like abilities that mess with your cognitive abilities, like your senses and your thinking and stuff like that. I think that's the first thing I'd probably do. I think there's been a lot of damage that's been done that there might be some things we can't particularly like take back, but I think that will go a long way. And I will give season 3 credit for that. I do think season 3 has showed me a lot of different types of powers, which I liked a lot. Second thing I'd probably do is I like that Shinsu is super limitless and is everything. But I think at some point he's gonna have to make make a line in terms of like Shinsu. Like Do you like? Have you guys ever thought about Shinsu like being like a finite pool of energy or infinite? Like, do we know that for a fact? We don't know, right? Like could we? Like, I feel like you can make a case both ways.
It should be. No, it is finite. Like I assume it's like a kind of like a FP bar. Like you use it, it recharges over time because
But who?
that's why.
But
the
who's
whole
ever really
specific-
like ran out of Shinsu before? And maybe I'm not remembering.
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
no. I don't think anybody has. But the whole thing with that's why the whole thing with Bam could use the Shinsu loop is because he has unlimited. Essentially, remember?
Oh, the
And
thing
that was
Hansung
a
you
whole
taught him.
huge thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because Hansung you couldn't even do it because it is finite.
But he wasn't blessed by Shinsu, right? Wasn't that part of it too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Bam's blessed by Shinsu, he has basically like infinite Shinsu. So that's why he can just always stockpile it in the loop.
Ooh, the blur
and
ability
always
is
take
cool.
from it.
Yeah. Integrate
So, yeah.
manipulation, conjuration, and transformation abilities. Yeah, I'd probably get more elements in there too. I'd even like for Shinsu property conversion, I'd probably get different types of like maybe one that's adhesive, like it's sticky, like the Spider-Man web you over here, like get over here, you know, like stuff like that. I'd probably do.
Sticky finger. Get the JoJo's.
That's actually probably
power.
yeah. You're probably right, Milios, in terms of like the external stuff is regulated by the admins and whatnot because Bam doesn't need permission. He's good, and it's probably external and internal. You're probably right. Probably a mixture of both. That makes sense. I just don't recall anyone being like, "I'm out of Shinsu," like that's never happened. So I'm like, is that a thing? Like I just wonder sometimes. So. I feel like Shinsu is based on the amount of body your body can hold. Apparently, engineers really enjoy Accel's abilities from Index. Accelerator's vector ability from Index is really dope. It's amazing. If you guys don't know, the Sisters arc is one of my favorite arcs of all time. That's amazing stuff from Index. Shout out to my guy Toma. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Adhesive bungee gum has the properties of both rubber and gum. I knew someone was gonna. I low-key knew someone was gonna say that when I said adhesive. I'm like, someone's gonna make a bungee gum joke, aren't they? Properties of rubber and gum. But yeah, then I think it's cool to have like different people and like I guess races or family members and stuff. Like I know we still have like some people are really Shinsu resistance, but like just have like different weird body types and stuff, like really long arms or something, or like.
Wait, you weren't rocking with old Goblin dude with the 1,000 hands?
But he got packed so fast, it didn't even matter. He got packed so fast. But I just mean the sense where it's like, you know, this clan of people, like they're known for being able to see lies. You can't lie to them or something. Like I don't know, like stuff like that. I think would
That's
go
the
along
things. Like they kind of did have that. Like I think it was interesting where it's like Quant's family. You can
bring back Blur.
Was the Fire family before Yeon family came in?
Yeah.
Because they were like the non-irregular versions, but then it's like, oh, I mean, nothing happened. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah. What family head am I the most interested in?
Eurasia, easily.
That's my
girl.
That's my first answer off rip because of accelerating Shinsu, but let me just think for a sec.
I know Eurasia Boss was gonna be my favorite.
Blood matter.
Probably. Eurasia's about to go crazy.
I wanna.
Nah, it's probably Yeon for me, or RE, or Ian. I don't know.
That's a good question, but
Yeon's probably like my least, and like one I care the least amount of, honestly.
You don't understand greatness now.
You're just a misogynist.
I said, but I picked Eurasia.
Hey man, Eurasia.
Fuck. So honestly, a part of me wants to say, like, I feel like to Paris just hide him back there. Like, we just don't talk about that nigga. Like, we just do not mention him that often. But honestly, is Eurasia and Hendo, because Hendo is the one that doesn't have the immortality contract. I'm interested in seeing him and what he looks like.
I think to Perry's interesting because he's the only one that we know that like has like actual inventions with like. Well, no, Gustang we know some of his, but like it's like, dude, he created like the 3 operas, and we've seen 2 of them, 2. Mm-hmm. No, we've seen 1, and we know what's his name has the other.
Yeah, we
Moloch
see
has the.
Give me the Hikikomori.
No, it's not Moloch. Wait, which one? Wait, is it one of the three lords has one of the operas, right?
Maybe I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think it's Flux. Is it Flux?
That one that got created, right?
Yeah, I think Flux
Yeah.
has it. And the third one we don't know.
Oh, you got. Oh,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, just Actually, Miles, you might have answered in the conversation that I forgot though. But like for the little challenges that we put out, like the one that me and Haku put out, what were you guys' answer? Like for the character you missed the most that you haven't seen in a while, I said Ran. Think Haku said Black March. Joe said, who did Joe say again? Fuck.
Oof.
I don't remember. But
mine's Jahard.
Okay. Jahard? I feel like we keep seeing him though.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw him
we haven't seen him since season 2.
Oh, you mean like I guess you mean in real time. You mean in real time, but like we seen him. We seen the hologram. We seen him when he came and he hyped him. But he just came and hyped himself up. I am the greatest fisherman that the tower has ever seen. Remember he came and hyped himself up when Cal Helm bitch ass like. Nigga, we just seen him. Pick somebody else. Stop that, bro. Stop that. We just seen the hologram too. Who else? Someone else. We just seen him.
You talking about when Cal Helm got blinded from seeing the greatness that is Jahard in the flashback. I'm talking about real time.
Yes, sir.
That was just his power anyways. It wasn't even really him. We never seen him yet, technically.
I think because
I'm kidding. Your answer's fine. I'm
just
fucking
maybe like a
with you.
meeting. Yeah, if it's not him, it's Wang. It's Wagner for sure.
Okay.
Mine is Gosen. The best character.
Yes.
Now if it's Wagner. There's like no point.
Jahard,
I don't know.
Wagner is just real dual antagonist.
Wagner is the greatest character in TOG. That's like we all know that. So, no point in me repeating.
I wouldn't say he's the greatest.
Oh,
but I think
JD said
Anak.
That was the right answer. That was a good answer.
No, he's objectively.
So, but
Anak's my girl, but like
Anak.
it is what it is.
You see, bro said he was blind to a nigga who could see the video. It was just funny because it was just like you thought he was the only one. You thought he was nice. It's like shit. Oh, can I help her bitch? He's like, I can't help you guys anymore. I mean, like, what up? I don't like Hello at all, bro. Shout out to Sophia. Hold it down for the elders right now. I like roasting him because he's such a clown, but I don't like him. But I like those arrows though. The arrows go crazy. That's not my guy at all.
Bring back Hiwa as well.
I think about this, Naya. If anybody was in Kel Helm's position, they would all be like him. If Jahard pulled up on you and you survived, there's no way you would be mentally okay for the rest of your life.
First of all,
I'd be okay.
First of all, I'm an irregular. I come from Toronto. So when I go in that tower, I'm about to be nice.
Hey man, it's hard to survive an encounter with me, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Okay?
You gotta see me. Oh shoot. No, I mean fair. You see Seto though. Seto would be nice. What about from the lore? The other one. I picked Molik for that one. Molik. I want to see him.
Eurasia.
Okay.
Eurasia.
I think mine is either Baek Ryun or Ari Chun. The other three head. The one that was from the Ari. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Does anyone give a shit about Rocky's basically painting? I forgot about it too myself. Shit. Sorry, keep on. So loose like a
Queen of Sleep. Oh yeah, Hackney. Yeah, I mean Hackney. Who cares? It is what it is.
Phantom Min and Plub on Jihad got him scared. You know what I'm saying? Enryu was my easy, quick answer, but I was like, I seen him. I saw him throw them bangs. I didn't see the full reveal, but to me it didn't count. That's why I didn't pick him. But Enryu was my easy answer.
I really don't care about Enryu, honestly.
I do. But I like Jihad though. Don't get it twisted. I actually like Jihad. I'm not a Jihad hater. If you notice, the Empire symbol is always there, dog. It's never not there. The Empire symbol is always there. I'm rocking with him. And you know what?
It's a good symbol.
Yeah, it is. And one thing I get SC credit for is I love how he draws eyes. You know how like the eyes that people like Scratch's eyes, Jihad's eyes, like the way he does eyes are really dope. But yeah, like especially now that I've seen like the Slayers in action to some degree and whatnot, and the commanders to me are are certified. They're doing what they got to do. Calivan's cold. The ass Ratchet's cold. Depending on who you ask, Lyborg is cold. I don't dislike him, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not rocking with him. But like they're doing what they got to do as far as I'm concerned. So it's FUG that's got to pull their weight. I'm not. It's not to say I'm like disappointed, but I'm like, dang. Y'all looking shaky in the sunlight, yo. Step your fucking game up. Y'all niggas kind of mid, so yeah.
Oh man.
How could he not kill the handsome man in the tower? Lororo. Oh, Lororo's someone I missed too. I love him. I love Lororo. Someone's like, put some respect on Quant. Listen, he's fine. I don't dislike him. Just not my guy. Bye, Kareem. I'm mad at that. Bike is going to be good. Someone on the Reddit told me today that we've seen Phantom Minions back. There's a picture on the wiki. I'll look at it after. The Slayers are weak, especially the sealed ones. I just want to know why they're not training. If they can't even like you supposed to take out family heads. Yikes!
Wait, hold on. If we conceal the Slayers, maybe we can seal Bam as well.
No,
that might be a way.
I need you guys to know that as a Slayer candidate, he's better than every Slayer that we've seen so far.
He's probably better than every Slayer we'll see besides Losglick. Like,
Yeah,
or maybe another.
I mean, yeah. Strongest one we all so far. So I mean, yeah, Bam's got it. Bam, he's I hate this.
Naya, would you be cool with Calivan being the final obstacle before Jihad through whatever means? Not anymore. Not at this point. I think that conflict is over. It's not moving me anymore. I don't really care. And then and like, how would you do that? Because then Calivan's gonna have to get how much stronger? You know. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But Calivan's my guy. I don't even know what he does from this point on. What's his role? What's Calivan's role in the story? Because I'm not one of those people who do like, hey, I wanted A to happen, A didn't happen, series garbage. I don't do that. But I still really like the idea of things not going well, and Calivan is literally like a rogue soldier that wants to get his respect and, you know, rank back in the army. So he's on the hunt for Bam on his own. And he's kind of unhinged or something. Or maybe he has some of his, maybe like Chian Hee-ha or someone goes with him. Maybe. I don't know. But, well, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, no idea. But, yeah, Flower Girl and off-brand reels. Karaka being a Slayer is like Buggy being an Emperor. God damn it.
I think that's a crazy comparison.
Being a Karaka fan is so hard, bro. You understand? It's not easy. It's not. Okay, you know my boy who just hopped in? He roasts me for that shit all the time. He sends me the panel of Hodge's song, like giving him the armor and caressing his face. He's like, that's your Slayer? And I'm like, fuck you, dog.
It's crazy, too. It's crazy because I have Karaka in my top 3 design characters in the series, too.
Yeah.
He got one of the best character designs, one of the best power sets in the series. Good. Thematic role. He really got everything. He got everything except
no
love from the altar.
I just don't like what he's been doing with him. I just don't know what happened. Just not the character that he made him out to be. You know, I've always made the argument. Like, I have so many Karaka videos on this point. Like, I've talked about this ad nauseum, but I'll say it again for anyone who's never heard me say it before. I don't have a problem with him and him actually being cool with Bam and actually caring about Hodge and Sung and all those type of things. I don't think it's nonsensical, but if you don't actually do the groundwork for that and you plant those seeds, I think it's just very jarring. Like, when he comes and he's like, did you really kill my master to Calivan? Like, why the fuck do you care? I was genuinely confused. Didn't you tell me you don't take your mask off for people you don't trust and all of those things? Everything he did was in opposition of what Hodge and Sung wanted. And all of a sudden he's like, I ride for Hodge and Sung. I'm going to mobilize FUG for. I'm like, bro, where did that fucking come from? That shit was nonsense, G. It came out of nowhere. And I always tell people, show me the panel or text or moment before that indicates to me that there's a level of care there. To me, all I saw was respect and reverence for his martial arts teacher. Nothing more, nothing less. and that challenge is still open. It's been open for 4 years, and no one has passed it. I got the ultimate test in the tower. Ain't no one passing this shit, nigga.
Hey man, you gotta Croc is just the ultimate tsundere. That's all it is. Man. He was
He's funny though. He's funny. People, but he's been funny. People didn't know that. He's been funny though. That's one thing I want to say about Karaka. He has always been kind of funny. So yeah.
Hey man, you gotta either keep hope or just give up because
Yeah.
Slayer's really every single Slayer this season they literally lost every single fight in the nest. It's crazy.
Your FUG stock is just like I'm not buying. I'm not buying that
Slayer
stock.
didn't win a single fight this entire arc. Like, bro, what?
Karaka will have his moment copium. I need all that copium right now, bro.
Yo, you know how I was. I was in here. Keep the faith for White for months. Look at me now.
Man, I was. Now I still say Yama's backstory changing itself might be one of the worst. It's obviously one of the worst things that CU's done, at least in season 3. Man, like new Yama.
I think making Yama dumber is more egregious. I think flanderizing was worse. Because that boy was cunning might be a little too strong of a word.
Vibrator was crazy.
But
he was definitely cunning in the original backstory. It was like the way he set up. He was like probably one of the smartest
was so
characters.
much cooler than Nasty Yama, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. The second that man joined forcing Dream to think was up, yeah, it was. We're suffering, bro. Crocker gets stopped by plot bullshit every arc, and then just gives up going against the Bam. Crocker, I don't know. Karaka putting in work. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Look at him. You just about to sound like me before when I had my cape in the wind. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not. No more. It's like a Van Kel. No more defending of Van Kel. She's a fucking bum. No more. I don't care what anyone has to say about a Van Kel. She's done. She's done. There's no defending her anymore. She's done.
At least Karaka has time to like grow and shit. Vankel should be
exactly. Karaka could up his game at least, you know. So
yeah, the moment Evankill got fucking speared by Garment Widow
by Spider Mommy. Use her real name. Her government name is Spider Mommy.
That stock plummeted, bro. I was like, no one can say anything anymore.
Yeah. Karaka, bro. No, he's not. No, he's not. Just wait. I'm hanging there. I'm not selling. I'm holding the line.
Don't worry. Wagner will save.
I'm holding the line, bro. Karaka's gotta come through for me at some point, bro. I've got to. He's got to. SIS the whole with Slayers because White and Karaka has some of the best character designs and powers. I agree. Being Karaka fan is like investing in Bitcoin right now. Frog Fisher, Urek, Magic Bullock, he just cannot win. I feel that. Karaka built like stainless steel kitchen appliance. Wow, just a tsundere. That is true. He is kind of a tsundere. He's a dick rider. Come on, man. Karaka has a hard time getting through the airport security. I feel that. This song has been the most disappointing. You think so? Bro watches the news for fun. Shit killed me. He's like, yeah, it's the best channel, you know? He's become a comic relief with his interaction with Doan. And yeah, there's that one too. A candidate one though. I can't wait for Lofa to be a Bam next arc. Oh shoot, should have said that. My fault. Yamo was already dumb. He slept in for his people's most important event. No, but here's the thing, right? I mean, and maybe I just analyzed this wrong. The way that Karaka and Bam kind of approached the cage initially, and the way they had to kind of negotiate with Yama, it made it come across that Yama wasn't as eight-brain as you would think. Because he knew what they came there for, and basically kind of manipulated it to a certain way. Like, we're going to get you guys to participate in the Fang festival, the something festival with the Fang or whatever, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sorry, it's off of my head. Where, like, if you kind of, like, read in between the lines implicitly, it seemed like Nagyama was kind of manipulating the game to a certain degree. When he jumped towards Bam to, like, somewhat intimidate him and stuff, he just told, like, you know, like, he came across as a little bit smarter than he realized, and then you thought that he didn't really care about his people and the Houndborns, and then when Mule, not to be confused with the greatest character in Tower of God, Mule Love, we're talking about the Elder Envoy, that Bozo, had to, like, bomb or whatever, he still had that nigga quaking in his boots, even though he quote unquote was like, all right, I'm going to chill out because you can like I don't know. Then like I just felt like he just somewhat like looked really incompetent. But maybe it's more of those things just because he was in a position of power. He looked better, and then once you put him on an even playing field, you realize he wasn't that guy. But go ahead.
Well, I would say with two things. One being, Yama had the right and ability to sleep. And that's shown because the moment he woke up, he literally shut everything down. There was nothing no one could do from any side or angle. They had to bring in literally Kelhelm, which is an elder, a blue hole, and one of the oldest people in the tower. And he basically had to do the big mom and remove Yama from the field into fighting the entire like Squadron 4 against Yasuraja, who was basically like a hard counter at the time. But even you can even see like Yama's like interactions with like his onboards and stuff, and how he even like the way in which Yama just talked, I feel like is a lot more like of like a leader, calm, collected a little bit more so than like the Yama that we have now, which is just more of like he seems a lot more like teenager like kind of in a sense. And the way he just screams like, "I want to do this. Just don't stop me. I can do whatever I want." Like you weren't really saying that before.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why I say like the original, like not even the cage. I mean like the original, like from the blog post. I know the blog posts are, they don't matter. But, like the blog post Yama, man, that's the one of the like that Yama was there. I might have like season 3 way more, but it is what it is.
I feel it. After you looking like the Detroit Lions, Yama definitely went crazier. Invested my money into Jihad Army, especially with the connection to Mort. I had more hope in Ivanka than Karaka. I mean, listen, I've been harping on the Ivanka's not it for a while, and I feel vindicated because I remember after the whole happened and Ivanka destroyed the gate. Everyone was like, "Watch, she's about to go crazy, cook everybody, blah blah blah." They broke through, and then what did Ivanka say? "I'm out of juice," and that's when I was like, "All right, stop defending her. You look silly. You look like me defending Karaka. Stop. I know what it feels like. I've been in this role before. You don't gotta go outside like this. It's okay to like her, but all right, she is not her. Okay, it's all right. We're not doing this. Before I bring another video clowning that bozo, we're done with her. She's not it. Overdose on my Van Calcopio. Karaka is fighting back in the day with his family leaders, and I'll be disappointed. Yeah, I get it. Yama's a furry. The streets on the Karaka's portrayal has been nothing but really good or bad. Oh shoot, but actually, cause I'll say this though, Lizard, you brought it up earlier, and I'm really not mad at you for saying this because I still think in concept it's so much more interesting, and it ties into two, like regular to a Slayer, and a Slayer kind of maybe possibly having sway over another Slayer because you're the reason they even became one. So Amort's connection to Yama, and at the time it was called Bay Road, I believe, not the cage or whatever, but Bay Road and stuff. And then Yama being one of the mad dogs or whatever, and going and climbing through Amort. Like to me, in concept, that was much more interesting. I actually don't hate the whole stuff with Doom and Paul. And if you want to add the Nenea and the Wang, Jesus Christ, Wang's a terrible name, but Wang, like his dad and stuff. Like, I actually don't hate any of that stuff. I don't think it's bad, though. I agree that, like, conceptually, I would have liked to see the Immort stuff more. I don't know how you feel about it, Miles, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though. The thing is, he still could have added the Immort stuff in anyway. That's the thing.
But at this point, I think it wouldn't mean anything. He'd just be doing it to be like, I see that said it in the blog post. Like, I don't think it means anything unless he's gonna do something with it. Where it's like, Karaka, I'm a Karaka. Wow, so Karaka on my mind. That's crazy. Like Yama, don't forget I'm the reason you're like is that gonna happen?
I think if in the beginning of the cage, when Yama was talking to, Karaka, I think it would have been an interesting thing if he mentioned like the things of like, I'm the second generation, you're the third generation, I have connections with the Immort, who I would assume is the first gen. I think he could have put that in there to still have that connection that we could build upon later. Like I think it could have been a really quick like side conversation he had, nothing crazy, because we still have the huge gap of time of like from the wing stuff to like Yama's actual journey in the cave, like journey when he climbed the tower and stuff. Any more could have picked him up there, and I think that could have worked. But like it seems like it's entirely scrapped. But I'm like, that's how you could have still just done both.
Yep.
But to me, like the most interesting part of the Yama thing was just like the fact that he was like a drug lord slash he was doing all this
The
drug
red
and
light district stuff.
yeah. Like one of the things I wanted to see, and it's like no point. Is like I would have been interested to see if he was like working and dealing drugs to the family head, like the families as well, like on the low key. Like
I was
it
gonna
turns
ask
out
you
oh,
this
he's
too,
the
Lizard. Did you think that possibly it can tie into Wagner because he's the prince of the red light district? Like that's also a connection I was thinking personally in my head, where I'm like, I thought maybe through Yama we'd learn just a little bit retroactively about Wagner because it's the red light district and he's supposed to be the prince of that or whatnot. So I don't know.
Yeah, I actually agree. I mean, I know the red light district was burned down, but it could have been like a flashback and be like, oh, there was this red light district that I used to, send drugs and money to, and then we learn about it. That would have been way more interesting to me. But yeah, there's no point now.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't know where Parkin is, bro. I know. I hate Raflajo. What's up? I hate Raflajo. Oh, we're just talking in general. Just talking about Tower God in general.
Your Flavor is still one of the
funniest
funniest characters.
Give me
of
the
all
rundown.
time.
What did y'all do?
We read more comments.
Yeah, bro, you gonna have to go back.
I don't know. We read more comments. We read some of the stuff on the other page, but I didn't want to go into raw stuff on this because I want to post this tomorrow. So I just.
I got you.
So.
Man said, "What y'all talk about, nigga? It's been 2 hours. You gotta."
No, I had to. I promised to run a. I want to talk with Kendo about the ending of Naruto, and I wanted to get that conclude that. I had my closure on that. Okay. I had to close on that thing because I still don't like the last 2 arcs, and the problem is that the last arc is 200 chapters. It's a fourth of the series, and that's why it goes down so much. Because I think most of Naruto is actually good to find, but that last arc is 200 chapters. Bro. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? That's insane.
Yeah.
But
I need some more horror. And
I've gotten to a point where endings are still important to me, but they're not the end all be all. But the ending matters when it's 200 fucking chapters.
It's not the end though. We got Burrito, the sun.
I feel like to me, I feel like majority of things I consume just have.
We got the Jagan, Gan Eye, Super Mega Ultra Eye, Rinnegan, Golden.
A lot of mangas don't have great endings, but books do. Books have good endings and fucking.
Yeah, sometimes in books I don't be moved.
So do Bomics. So.
Yeah, comics too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like sometimes I'm like, all right.
Jagan. I didn't like that series. I tried. It wasn't moving me. But yeah. Just waiting to find out what the dagger shit's about. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Wagner is just.
Are we saying EOS? It's Wagner versus Bam rather than Bam versus Javard. I could deal with that.
Wagner winning from no cap.
Now were you shocked that the Koreans were going as dummy on Tower God as they were? Because actually, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm actually gonna go. If you want to go through with it with me off screen or something, I'm gonna make it his own video because there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm sure is like spoilery stuff. So I want to go through it for another video because I want to basically make that video like are Koreans being a little too harsh? Because I was saying for some stuff that I skimmed through that I was reading, I'm like, it literally reminds me of like. Like sometimes I'll hear someone speak about something, I'm like, okay, I agree, and they keep going, like, all right, my stop's here. Yeah, so that's how I felt too. That's what they kept doing. We're like, okay, now I'm off the train. I'm trying to think of a good example in my head where it's like, I don't know, someone's like, actually, I'll use a very, very dumb example because I talk about shit all the time. Where someone will be like, oh, like I understand, like, oh, men want to spread their seed, this and that, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And, like, I know guys can have sex with a girl even though they're in a relationship or married and not care about the girl like that, like they're still in love with their wife. But I still think if you never negotiated that, and he didn't and you made like your vows or whatever, you are bound by code and honor to not step out. So I get off. Some people are like, I don't care, like cheat on your wife. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm off the train. I'm getting off. Like I don't fuck with that, like at all. But yeah, they just go too far. Or sometimes some of the stuff I saw, I thought were nitpicks. And sometimes you have your personal nitpicks, but yeah.
To the point. Yeah. No, it definitely felt like me. It's like when I first was mad at Tower Guy, then you're just ragging on everything.
Yeah.
Because now everything's a problem because you're just mad. So it's like, you know what? Now that I think about it, fuck this part and fuck this part. And then that felt like they were doing it. They were just going crazy. I was like, damn. And then I laughed at one part though. They were like, Bam is like an emotional psychopath with introspection skills or some shit like that. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking funny.
What's that? Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck did y'all even come up with that? Like, what?
I don't know. I don't know. That's just funny. I don't know. That's just funny to me. I love everything like. What's
that
wrong
shit
with that?
killed me. They said.
I have a question for you guys. What's good with you, bro? You alright?
Me? I thought you cut out. I know you paused. What's up?
Not in terms of combat, but do you prefer Urek or Jahar, just like as a character? Like, who you want to see more? Who do you like more? Design that like
Jahar wave. He's just
every
so
time
way
Jahad's
more
on the
peaceful.
screen, I'm not gonna lie to you, he moves me. Like
Yes,
for
sir.
how little he appears on the screen, it's one of SIU's best written characters still.
I can't lie to you.
I switch between them a lot.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something I hate people do. I gotta cop out, bro. I gotta cop out. I like him for completely different reasons. That's the thing. Like Jahad, like I think Jahad's very minimal presence is pretty powerful when he comes. He says Rashi, does Rashi. Like I brought up Vince earlier. I know you like to see him where he hypes himself up about being the greatest fisherman to ever enter the tower. Hell of you fucking bozo. Like this is not the stage for you. Like Jesus Christ. And then he had all the like, you know how I used to always hype up the mystery needle, the golden needle from Mystery Island. He had like a billion come through and they crushed. Like that shit was gangster, right? What I've always liked about Urek that I really like about him, and this is the most important thing. I can go. I have a video about this, and I have many reasons, but it's specifically because for somebody who's that strong, I just feel like he hasn't lost himself in terms of being. He's still the self-proclaimed champion. He still has immense confidence in his abilities, and maybe he's a little arrogant, but he looks out for the little guy, like the Hell Joe. Why the fuck would someone like him care about Hell Joe? He's like, I like this whole repairman guy. I want to help him achieve his dreams. And before he even knew like Bam was in the regular stuff, he like took Bam under his wing. Like he got cut by Bam and didn't go like that insolent and go back and like, oh shit, yo, there's a little baby monster in FUG. I like his attitude. This moves me. Like he seems to just be like a cool like bro type of dude. So like I've always liked him for that. And even after Hell Joe messed up and got taken over from the Red Wrestler and whatever, he still tried to tell Hell Joe like, yo, follow your dream. You know what you like and Hell Joe was like already defeated at that point, but like he still believed in him, and he got mad at Gus Dang for being like, bro, these niggas are bugs. If you just breathe too hard, like they'll and he's like, this I don't fucking talk to you niggas. I hate y'all. And he walked away. I was like, yo, I like his attitude. I'm sorry. Like, I like both for completely different reasons. They're both simps though.
Yeah, they're. They are.
I really can't wait until Urek and Jahar are just like next to each other, because I just really want to know what the conversation would go like.
I think some kinky shit.
I don't know. Because who do you think would say some crazy shit first?
I don't think either would. I think they respect each other. Like I think there's like a mutual.
I don't think Urek gives a fuck about that nigga and vice versa with John.
I don't think he wants to deal with it.
I can see Jahar.
Least...
I'm the king. Get on your knees. But I could also see Aaron just saying, like, nigga, you're not nice.
wait, hold on. No. What do you mean, Phantom Minimum? Steve Harvey? What the hell? What's going on in the comment section? Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. That just took out to me. Keep going. My fault.
That's what I have to say. These niggas in the comments always be awesome.
No, as long as y'all having fun, man.
Steve Harvey.
Oh shit! Cause I just love at the sound of Ace made like, oh yuck, Batman, I'll fuck you up, Batman, oh yuck. So I started thinking of him when he took over the Riddler. Oh shit!
No, I do. I mean, I don't know if respect's the right word. I just think they know, hey man, you just don't mess with him. It's just like a, it's
I would argue.
acknowledgement for both of them. Don't mess with me.
I would
won't
argue.
mess with you.
I'd argue they kind of don't care about each other like that, but they understand that they're both a real threat to each other. So like there's that low level of violence ensuing if civil discourse fails.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they both know, hey, don't tread with me. I won't tread with you. Just keep it on, because they're. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't really clash, right? Like, Yurik's goals and his goals really don't clash at all, right?
They partially do because Wolcock's son wants to leave.
I mean,
stopping him.
but
But like,
I mean,
but like internally, outside of that, no, like they're not like going to war with each other or anything like FUG.
I mean, I don't know how much of it is stopping each other. Like, there might be other ways besides sub 134th, but it is what it is.
I feel it. But yeah, I do. But I'm with you though that I think that like in a weird way, I'm much more interested in the interaction of Gerard and and Urek more than like Enryu and the other ones. Enryu, I kind of separate in a weird way though, but he's still.
Yeah, he's just a weirdo.
Phantom Minim is the one I don't count the most. Go ahead.
Yurik and any of the family have to be cool. I was gonna say, I think Yurik and any of the family heads, like, I think he would. I feel like him and High Yurik probably have the best relationship out of the family heads.
Who, Yurik?
The High Yurik.
I think so. Yeah, Yurik. I think Yurik would have. I think you can maybe make the argument with well, it depends on like how him and Ari like their relationship went when he got tested. But I would say probably Ha. I think Ha Yurin and him would probably have the best relationship.
I think it might be not the Ari, the other Ari, like the Ari ARI, because I know the family head, like the one Ari Chun, like 1, 3.
You gotta do how we do it, man. It's Ari Han, Ari,
Ari. The Ari family, like I know one of the family 3 heads, like Ari Chun, is Yurik's drinking buddy. So I don't know if his dad is also with him. You know what I mean? His son is a drinking buddy who he might.
I forgot about that.
True.
You're right.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, Yurik is, I don't know. He might he does what he wants to do. I don't.
They're just both meatheads though.
Wait, hold on.
Meatheads like meatheads.
Yeah. I mean, are Yurik, them lips?
What's this? What if the secret to leave the tower is past the floor 130? I actually think it is.
I mean, doesn't it have to be?
But then again, but then again, I'm about to say Arlene somehow sent Bam out there. So, but I do think it's connected to that, low key. If a Towerborn left the tower and came back, why would they be in a regular? Maybe because you were revived outside the tower. So that's where life begins. If you get what I was doing right there, you get what I was doing right there. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's where life begins. Conception begins outside the tower. That's where it begins, bro. So, is it Urek or Mazino? Actually, that's a good question. Is it? I think his first name is Urek, though. I think Mazino's his last name. I think so.
Yeah, Mazino is his last name. Yeah.
It's definitely Mazino's his last because that's what's tatted on his back. I don't think you usually tat your first name, right?
Yeah, you don't.
I don't know. I don't have a single tattoo, bro. I don't know. No piercings or tattoos. Like lame.
Wait, does he have both of it? Is it Yurik Mazino or is it just Mazino on his back?
Just Mazino.
I think it's Mazino.
Or just Mazino, and then it has the wings, the wall hike song symbol.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question or like a thing. Do you guys? I know like it seems obvious that Yurik would team up or become on Bam's side. But what do you think of the idea about Yurik staying as a third party, or like not even just? I think that'd be really.
I could see him genuinely being neutral.
Because I think that's just way more interesting. Because once he's in the mix, it's just like, what are we gonna do until Jihad pulls up? I think him being like a third, maybe like he trains, like I think he can train Bam maybe on the 77th floor, but just actually like going to fight for Bam.
Train
or
Bam
anything,
to do what? Nigga, he's already too strong.
By the time he gets there, he gonna be seeing Bam as an equal.
Bam's gonna be training Europe. My bad. My bad.
Shit.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, what can anybody teach Bam at this point?
They'll find something.
What is there to teach? Like, I think you can maybe make an argument for Eurasia because she's specifically a wave controller. She can maybe do something, but like, it's just like all Bam has to do is just basically just level up. Like, he already has like high tier skills, so like, he just needs to get his stats.
Gonna become a lighthouse. He's gonna become a lighthouse keeper, whatever they call it next. He's gonna take control. He's gonna become the ultimate lighthouse bearer. But yeah, I just want Europe to be neutral. I just think that's way more interesting than him.
I think he actually is, because I would argue the one who has a problem with him is Enryu, because of how he's helping Arlene and wants the thorns to slit the king of the throne stuff. I think Enryu is the one who probably would be like opposing Jihad. I think Urek is like, I don't give a fuck about what any of you guys are doing. I'm trying to leave. So.
No, I don't mean. I mean, obviously neutral now. No, I mean in the future because when obviously Bam goes towards him, I don't want in the future Bam to like Europe just like work with Bam.
Oh, yeah, that's happening, bro.
I know it is. I don't want it, man. But yeah,
if Jihad attacks Graham, which he probably will do because she has 2 of the 13-month series and she specifically doesn't like them, Uruk would probably go to save her. So that's probably going to be a connecting piece of like, all right, now I just got to fight you.
All Bam has to do is suck something else and power up. Yummy. We may pull Jihad if the secret to leave the tower is really past. I guess I'll give some motivation and stuff. I do want to see them kind of clash a little bit and stuff. Just it'd be kind of nice, but I don't know.
Jihad smoking him, like it's not like.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about
that. Who's number 3? Who's number 4?
What we should do while we're here. Honestly, we might as well just get we might as well do the talk about the latest chapter. So I don't know if you guys are busy. You got like 40 more minutes.
I got nothing positive to say about that new chapter. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, none of us do.
It's okay. It's okay. Literally, what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to stop the stream for like a second. A second. I'm going to change the title and then Raw Gang.